to Vintage Throne Stadium for season number 21 of Barrie Baycats baseball. Tonight's Inter-County Baseball League game features the visiting Guelph Royals and your Barrie Baycats. Here are this evening's starting lineups. First for the visiting Royals, managed by Dino Romel. Batting first in center field, number 9, J.D. Williams. Batting second, the shortstop, number 2, Connor Morrow. Batting third, the left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hannon. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 25, Malik Colleyborn. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 26, Claudio Custodio. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 14, Jeff McLeod. Batting seventh, playing first base, number 5, Kyle Rush. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 23, Brandon Keys. And batting ninth, playing second base, number 12, Brando LaRue. Pitching tonight for the Royals, number 26, Claudio Custodio. Now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Batlow. Batting first, the left fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting second, the second baseman, number 7, Royce Ando. Batting third, the first baseman, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 8, Frankie Infante. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 15, Jay Wilson. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 22, Juan Familia. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Buckton. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 14, Owen Jansen. Pitching tonight for your Baycats, number 30, Juan Benitez. Here are the umpires for tonight's contest. Calling the balls and strikes, Jeff Rose, and handling the bases this evening, Sean Weatherill and Charabin. Fans, can you please rise if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Live from Barrie Community Sports Complex in Springwater Township, Inter-County Baseball. Tonight from Vintage Throne Stadium in Midhurst, it's the Guelph Royals and the Barrie Baycats. Hello again, everyone. With me, Patrick Melbourne. My name is Ben Davey. Kendra Doyle on assignment tonight. Fourth of 6 regular season matchups between these clubs. This is Guelph's final regular season visit to Vintage Throne Stadium, and that might be good news if you're a Baycats fan, Patrick. So far, this has been a very tough matchup for Barrie. Over 3 matchups so far. The Royals have outscored the Baycats 24-8. They have not been an easy opponent for the Baycats by any stretch so far this year.
And a big reason why the Royals have been so successful this year is because of tonight's starter, Claudio Custodio. Baycats know him well. He pitched here in 2017, and now Custodio comes back as a Guelph Royal. He has been excellent this year, and he'll take the mound. Juan Benitez, who takes the mound right now for the Barrie Baycats, will be facing him, pitching for the Baycats. So we'll see who wins this pitching duel between the team's aces tonight.
Guelph holds a 2-1 season series edge so far. Barrie won the first matchup 4-3 over the Royals here in May. The Royals took the next two, 15-3 here in Barrie on June 12th and 6-1 in Guelph on June 21st. Let's give you the starting lineup tonight for the Guelph Royals. It's J.D. Williams, the leadoff man in center field tonight. Connor Morrow, the former Baycat, shortstop, batting second. Ethan Hammond bats third in left field. Malik Collymore in the cleanup spot and third base tonight. Claudio Custodio pitching and DHing tonight. He'll occupy that number 5 spot in the order. Jeff McLeod, the IBL veteran and right fielder, bats 6th. Kyle Cush at first base batting 7th. Brendan Keys, the catcher, bats 8th, and Brando LaRue, the second baseman, rounds out the order for the Guelph Royals tonight.
On the mound, Juan Benitez making his 9th start of the season, 4-3 this year with 4.46 ERA. He's pitched 48 and a third innings. He struck out 43. That's pretty good. He's only walked 13. That's very good. He'll be out there today against a tough Royals lineup. It'll be key for him to get going early. He has really good stuff, but he has the most success when he gets off to a good start and avoids the one bad inning. He had a really nice start that one time against London where it was just one inning that really won the game for London against him. So as long as he stays effective early and does not let a bad inning get to him, the Baycats should be in good shape with their ace on the mound, Juan Benitez.
Well, the Royals have no history on Juan Benitez. This is their first look at him in his season plus in the IBL. Of course, the Royals missed the 2021 campaign, and the Royals have not faced Juan yet this season. So no history to go on and facing him this evening. Last worked 8 days ago. That was a week ago Saturday against Kitchener, and looked really good in that 20-1 Baycat win. Juan worked 5 innings to earn the win that night. Home plate umpire tonight is Jeff Rose. Sean Wetherill is at first, and Chubave is at third. And our top of the first is brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. As Juan Benitez toes the rubber, and J.D. Williams settles into the box. And the windup and the first offering of the game from Benitez is a high fastball for a called strike. We're underway at 7:08 on a beautiful night here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Pretty deep to right field. Juan Familia goes back near the wall, and it's off the fence. Karams all the way back towards the grass, digging for second as Williams will hold up there with a stand-up double on the second pitch of the game, thrown by Juan Benitez.
Just caught a little bit too much of the zone, and J.D. Williams, who's a very good leadoff hitter, hitting over 300 this season.
Let's look at the defense for the Baycats behind Juan tonight.
Yeah, let's do it. Noel McGarry Doyle's in left, Jake Wilson in center, Juan Familia, which you saw him making that play in right. Royce Ando is the shortstop today. Owen Jansen's shortstop today. Royce Ando at second base. Branfy Infante at third, Ryan Rio at first. Behind the plate, Tyler Plumpton for Juan Benitez.
Connor Morrow hit his 4th home run of the season last night against the Brantford Red Sox. Former Baycat in to face Benitez, and he's first pitch swinging. It's a shallow fly ball. Center field, Wilson with it, makes the catch, tagging is Williams. Here's the throw from Wilson. It's offline. A good throw would have beat him probably, but Williams is able to tag up and get to third base.
And Williams has good speed, so even a good throw, it would have been tough to get him at third.
Left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Just finishing up that point about J.D. Williams on that first pitch. When you have a leadoff hitter who's really experienced in that number 1 spot in the order and is able to take a pitch from a guy he's never seen before and do something like that to it, it shows that he can succeed in any situation.
That one fouled over the screen by Ethan Hammond, the left fielder. Sun has been shining all day here in Springwater Township, just north of Barrie. The humidity has dropped a little bit. It's 26 right now, feeling like 28 with the humidity. And the wind's starting to pick up a little bit, and it's blowing from left to right. Pretty calm wind throughout the day so far today. We'll see if the breeze picks up a little bit as we head through the evening, but clear skies above us, just a little bit of light cloud cover, but nothing that's going to bring rain, and the sun very bright on the right field side of the diamond.
And we have a roof above us today, which means in the first inning, no bird will damage your shirt.
We were in Toronto, Patrick and I, on Wednesday night. For those who missed the broadcast, I got pooped on by a Toronto bird in the tree above us in the first inning. And then the Leafs went on to score, 9 runs in that first inning? So everybody was getting pooped on Wednesday night. This one hit to the left side and it's through into left field. That'll be an RBI single for Ethan Hammond as J.D. Williams comes in with the game's first run. It's 1-0 in favor of the Royals.
Baycats have been on a bit of a rough stretch over the last couple of games. It was such a good, I believe it was 5 or 6 games, the winning streak. And then the last couple of games has not gone the way the Baycats have hoped. So they're trying to get back into winning territory today. Just looking down at that schedule, lost against Welland and Toronto. But then before that, they were on really a nice run of winning streak.
Right back to Juan Benitez. It went off his glove, and unable to get over was Owen Jansen. He made an attempt, but that ball was an absolute scorcher. Benitez very lucky that he was able to knock that one down. Unfortunately, unable to keep the ball in front of him.
From July 2nd to July 10th, the Baycats won 5 games, and that was a streak of games that all kind of came at the same time. Not very many off days there.
Boy, you could hear that ball smack off the leather of Juan Benitez, and it still got past him and went all the way to center field. Just to give you an idea how hard that ball was hit by Malik Collymore. Situation where I'd love to have the exit velo on that ball off his bat.
We'll get there one day with the ideal.
Slowly.
Exit velo, launch angle.
Pitch comm, video review.
Park adjusted
factors. Robot umpires. It's all coming. You know it's all coming.
Well, if we get the park adjusted factors, then we'll see what Christy Pitt's home run rates are compared to everybody else.
So we've got 2 on with 1 out here on the top of the first. Juan Benitez trying to get out of a jam here with the Royals already on top 1-0. Claudio Custodio is 7 for 13 this season. Swings and misses. And the count is 1-2.
Don't let Custodio's status as a pitcher fool you. He's actually hitting .538 this season. Has a triple, a couple of doubles in 5 games. He also has stolen 3 bases.
4 RBIs. I mean, it's quite a compliment to put him right in the heart of your order. I mean, he's not in the number 8 or number 9 spot where you might expect to see a pitcher. He's right there in the number 5.
Well, when you hit .538, then that opens some eyes.
Small sample size, but that's pretty incredible for a pitcher. Count holds at 1-2. Benitez to Custodio. And another pop-up foul.
It's something you only really see with Shohei Ohtani in Major League Baseball, where a guy comes up and can hit in a game before he takes the mound as the starting pitcher. That really does change your mindset, and you get an early look at what the strike zone is for the umpire. So now Jeff Rose behind the plate can tell Claudio Custodio, okay, this is what you're working with.
1-2, hit to center field. Jake Wilson over to his left, takes a couple steps, makes the catch. Hammond will hold up. He bluffed an attempt to third, but took a couple of steps. And Custodio is retired, 2 out in the inning.
Right fielder, number 14, Jeff McLeod.
Jeff McLeod, a familiar name to Baycats fans, IBL fans, not for any stint he spent here with the Baycats, but just other teams around the league. Feels like we've been seeing his name forever. Mississauga Twins and the Burlington Bandits. Played for Kitchener, Toronto, and now Guelph. His 5th IBL organization, and actually his 2nd stint with the Royals. 39 years old. No bat with 2 on and 2 out here on the top of the first inning. Benitez with the 1-0, and that's a called strike. The Royals have been swinging early in the count here against a pitcher that they have not seen until tonight.
And it's an aggressive top of the order because it's the top of the order that hits a lot better than the bottom of the order. So if they can get out to a good start early, it helps bring the momentum and helps that bottom of the order.
Benitez misses with a slider, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike.
If you look at the averages for this team. It's starting with 300 all the way down to Custodio, who's hitting over 500, and then after that it's 189, 191, 219, 247. So it's important to get that top of the order going if you're Guelph.
Pitch is low, and the count is 3-1.
And we were talking about this before, but our understanding, and we might be wrong, is that Claudio Custodio can stay in the game as DH because he's both DH and pitcher. So when he leaves the game,
broken bat to second. Ando makes the throw over in time for the third out of the inning. We'll find out if and when Custodio is taken out of this game at some point. Well, that will do it for the Royals, but they scored the game's first run, and after half an inning, it's Guelph 1 and Barrie coming to bat. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No errors and 2 left on.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. Bottom of the first inning, let's take a look at the Barrie Baycats. Behind Josh Matlow tonight, Noel McGarry-Doyle, the left fielder and leadoff man for Barrie. Roy Sando at second base tonight, batting second. At first base, Ryan Rio in the number 3 spot. Cleanup hitter is Brantfy and Fonte tonight. Third base, Jake Wilson in center field batting 5th. Number 6 hitter is Adam Aude, the DH. Juan Familia in right field bats 7th. Tyler Plumpton, the catcher, bats 8th. And Owen Jansen, the number 9 hitter and shortstop today for Barrie.
on the mound it is Claudio Custodio, and just as he did in 2017 for the Baycats, having an excellent season for the Guelph Royals.
McGarry-Doyle hits this to the deepest part of the park, straightaway center field, but it stays on the grass right in front of the track. J.D. Williams takes it for the first out of the inning. And let's take a look at the Royals' defense behind Custodio tonight.
Yeah, left to right in the outfield, it's Ethan Hammond, J.D. Williams, and Jeff McLeod. Malik Collymore is the third baseman. Shortstop Connor Morrow. Brando LaRue at second base. Kyle Cush at first. Brendan Keys behind the plate for Custodio. And Custodio has been having this success pretty much the same way. He had 10 starts in 2017. He's had 10 starts so far in 2022. ERA in 2017 was 2.29. This year it's 2.19. He has pitched far more innings in 2022, 73.2 compared to 55.
That one's fouled into the trees behind us, and it's a ball at a strike.
And it shows in the strikeouts. He's really been striking out a lot of hitters. 123 Ks in 73 innings, only 18 walks. That's about where his walks were last time. He had 16 walks in 2017.
This one hits a left field, and the center fielder comes over. J.D. Williams calls off Ethan Hammond. You could hear him calling for that one all the way back here. And there's two quick outs for the Baycats here in the bottom of the first inning.
Now, I just threw a lot of numbers at you, but basically what you need to know about Claudio Custodio is he's going to battle really quickly. He's going to get good outs. He's going to strike out a lot of hitters. He does not walk a lot of hitters. And he is a very good pitcher, maybe the best one in the IBL right now.
One of the things Baycat manager Josh Matlow said after the 4-3 win Barrie had over the Royals here in May against Custodio, he said they were swinging too early against him. Instead of working him deep in the count and trying to get to that Guelph bullpen, they were eventually able to do so and were able to pull off a 4-3 win.
And he strikes out so many hitters that you would imagine it's not just the Baycats who have had that problem against Custodio.
123 strikeouts, 18 walks
And the only good thing about strikeouts in that context is it's going to bring up his pitch count. Because the last thing you want to do is strike out a lot combined with swinging early in the count and having one pitch outs.
1-2 to Ryan Rios. Swings and misses. And it's strike 3. So, first strikeout of the night for Custodio. Baycats 3 up, 3 down in the first. We go to the top of the second. Royals on top 1-0. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Hey, fans.
I'm going to do a thing and then you do the
Tag.
We were just talking about Claudio Custodio's strikeout total, and throughout the break we were wondering, does he lead the league? Well, he absolutely does. He leads it by a lot. Claudio Custodio, the former Baycat, has 124 strikeouts compared to anybody else in the league. That is so many. Jose Arias second has 88, and then after that Owen Boone of London has 76. So Custodio is a big strikeout pitcher. Baycats will be hoping to avoid too many strikeouts today.
Second inning brought to you by BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com, your community, your news. As Kyle Cush comes to the plate. Cush, Keys, and LaRue due up for the Royals here in the second inning. And Benitez starts them off with a strike. One nothing Guelph. We're in the top of the second inning. Check swing, and it's strike 2.
Interesting to see Owen Jansen at shortstop today. I believe this is the first game or one of the first games all year that Carson Burns has not been in the lineup.
This one hit to left field. Noel McGarry Doyle with a long way to go, and it's out of his reach. And digging for second is Cush. Here's the throw, the tag, and he's in safely with a double. Close play and a good throw from Noel McGarry Doyle. Cush did not take his foot off the gas.
Well, that was a heads-up play by Kyle Cush, going to take that extra base when he knew it was going to be not only a tough play from that angle, but a tough play after running that long from McGarry Doyle. McGarry Doyle can run, there's no doubt about that, but after you run that far, you have to get focused and throw that ball in precisely to be able to get that runner there, and Cush knew that. He was able to take the extra base. You've got the best speed in left field with McGarry Doyle. You've got good speed and good range, as well as a good arm in center, and you've got the best arm in right with Juan Familia.
This one hit to second. Nice glove play by Ando. Makes the throw over in time. Cush takes third base on that. Runner advances 90 feet, and there's one out. So second baseman Brando LaRue will come to the plate.
The second baseman,
Number 9 hitter for the Royals. LaRue, the rookie, in his first IBL season. Cush 90 feet away with one out here in the second inning. Benitez threw 19 pitches in the first. Juan this season has gone 7 innings 3 times this year. All 3 of those games were against Hamilton, oddly enough. And as mentioned, this is his first time facing the Guelph Royals.
He's been teammates with a couple of these guys, though. Darius Barlas, not in the lineup today for Guelph, was on Barrie last year because Guelph did not play last year.
He's behind 2-0 to the number 9 hitter. That one lifted to the right side, and it's over near the Barrie bullpen and out of play. Count 2 balls, 1 strike. Juan worked 5 innings in that 20-1 Baycat win against Kitchener here on Saturday last weekend. Just 1 earned run on 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk.
That was a good strike. High in the zone, overpowered Brando LaRue.
Battled back from down 2-0. The count now even. As Benitez comes set, runner leads. Here's the 2-2, and that one lifted to center field. Jake Wilson, couple steps in, makes the catch, tees it up for the throw. Here it is, cut off by Rio. The relay to home, and the tag is not in time. In to score is Kyle Cush, and it's a 2-0 Royals lead.
Well, that high pitch in that sequence was a trust your stuff pitch, and then he went right back into that same location, but took a little bit off of it. Brando LaRue guessed right, and it was a good sac fly. 2
sac flies have the Royals on top 2-0. Morrow's sac fly brought in Williams in the first inning, and now LaRue's sac fly brings in Cush here in the second. And Guelph able to touch Juan Benitez for a 2-0 lead here in the second inning. Back to the top of the order for J.D. Williams. Williams led off this game with a double.
Yeah, he saw the ball really well right at the start of this game.
Went right after the second pitch he saw from Benitez, and he hits this one to center field. Wilson comes over, dives, and he is unable to come up with the ball. He gets by him. Over to back him up is Noel McGarry Doyle. But by the time the throw gets in, Williams is into second with his second double of the ball game.
Wilson just playing a touch too deep right there, but that's really Williams just seeing the ball well again. Sometimes a guy is just locked in right from the start, and you can throw him whatever you want, but he is just going to challenge you over and over again. Williams is a good hitter, and he's had 2 good at-bats today.
Wilson, an outfielder who we've seen make similar catches to that time and time again, and he went all out, committing on that one, and not only couldn't come up with the catch, but the ball got by him, and it was extra bases for Williams. Third double of the ball game for Guelph. As Benitez will step off, and now they're going to appeal over at first. Rio steps on the bag, and no. So Williams at second. 2 out in the inning. Connor Morrow will try to keep this inning alive. Here's the first offering from Benitez. Breaking pitch misses inside, ball 1.
Morrow, another guy who's a former Baycat. Played in 2019 here. Hit .273 in the playoffs that year. Had 4 home runs across 2019, playoffs and regular season.
26 games with the Baycats and that championship team, and then 14 playoff games. Hit his 4th home run of the season last night. Benitez from the belt checks the runner. 2-0 pitch on the way. And he could not hold up. It's a strike, 2-1. Benitez with a career 10-6 record in the IBL coming into tonight. This one hits a shortstop. It's Owen Jansen making the throw, and it's in time for the out. So Morrow retired, and the Royals go down, but not before adding a run and making it 2-0 Guelph after an inning and a half. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Fans, all Saturday afternoon home games that start at 4 p.m. this season are Junior Baycats Days. With the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, Barrie 360, Moonwalk Entertainment, and Dream Parties, family fun will be taken to a whole new level. Just two more, Saturday, July 23rd and Saturday, August 13th. Those are the last two Junior Baycats Days of the season. They start at 4 p.m. on those Saturdays. Ben?
Brant Fianfonte, Jake Wilson, and Adam Odd will lead it off for Barrie here in the second inning. And the first pitch to Infante, very slow. Just sort of lobbed in by Custodio. Then he comes back at him with a fastball. It's 1-1.
Our Baycats TV out-of-town scoreboard.
Off of the mask is Keys, and he makes the catch against the screen right beside the Guelph dugout. There's one away in the inning.
Nice catch right there. Our Baycats TV out-of-town scoreboard. You can check out our brand new spoiler-free Baycats TV page on BarrieBaycats.com. This is actually the fourth IBL game of the day. It's the latest starting. Welland beat Hamilton today 11-5. London beat Toronto 14-8. Both those games started at 2 p.m. And there's one other game active right now. Kitchener over Brantford 9-5. That's happening at Jack Couch Park. They're in the top of the seventh. And then Guelph over Barrie right now 2-0 right here.
That Brantford Kitchener game was tied 3-3 a couple of innings ago. Baycats will play Brantford right here on Thursday night next week, or this coming Thursday. 1-1 pitch. It's in the dirt, and the count is 2-1. Jake Wilson in his second IBL season, 24-year-old Barrie native.
You're right. Kitchener and Brantford were tied at 3 after 3 innings of play. But then Kitchener scored 3 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and then another one in the sixth to make it 9-5. Brantford added 2 more after that as well.
This one hit to right field, and it will land fair, and it'll go all the way down to the foul pole. Wilson into second. Stand-up double for the Baycats as they get their first hit of the night off Claudio Custodio.
And that was a really good at-bat. Not only did it go to a 2-2 count, he really battled through it, but he managed to get good contact on a good pitch by Custodio. Placed perfectly. Now Wilson, who can run into scoring position. It's exactly the type of at-bat the Baycats are looking for out of Jake Wilson, I think. I really think this move to the 5 spot has benefited Wilson. He's been able to change up his approach a little bit and become a bit of a revitalized hitter, and he's been hitting much, much better lately.
He was the Baycats leadoff man for most of 2021, with Noel McGarry-Doyle hitting in the number 2 spot. Adam Odd, the number 6 hitter tonight, and designated hitter, will bat with 1 on and 1 out here in the second inning.
I think it was a really smart move by Josh Matlow to move Wilson to that 5 spot, because I think it has benefited Wilson as a player and the team equally.
Well, we'll keep our eye on that Brantford-Kitchener score for you as it unfolds. The Red Sox looking for their 3rd win of the season. They come in with a 2-23 record into that game against Kitchener tonight. That one missed outside, and it's 2-1. If the Baycats could win here tonight against the Guelph Royals, they'll pull into a tie with Guelph for the number 3 spot in the standings. Guelph currently 4 games behind the Well and Jackfish, who are on the top of the standings right now. Barrie 5 back.
You know, one of the most impressive things I think about Jake Wilson's approach lately is that his walks to strikeouts, they're almost equal now. He has 14 strikeouts and 13 walks. He has become one of the team's most patient hitters.
2-2. Lifts this one to left center field. And it'll fall in front of the left fielder, Ethan Hammond, who was unable to come up with a catch. Good effort by Hammond, but keeps the ball in front of him. And
right fielder, number
forced
22,
to hold at second was Wilson.
Kind of a misjudgment in left, to be honest. Kind of, I think, in his mind was thinking diving play before he really should have been. And I think he'll admit that.
Really nothing Jake Wilson could do. He had to hold up. Couldn't get too far off the bag at second, and when the ball stayed right in front of Hammond, he had to be close enough to the bag to get back.
Some of that was even if he wasn't going to make the catch on a bit of a tough route to take, it was keeping the ball in front of him so Wilson would not be able to advance. And Hammond's a good left fielder. It's just that those plays sometimes don't unfold the way you think they will.
2 on with 1 out as the Baycats look to get on the board here in the second. And Familia lifts this to the right side, and it's out of play near the Barrie bullpen.
But just going back to Jake Wilson's new approach and his newfound patience at the plate, he was really just becoming a more patient hitter and getting his pitch more often. It enables him to have at-bats like the one he just had.
That one right into the glove of Malik Collymore. He looks the runners back, and there's 2 away.
And I know you were talking about that
Catcher, number
a couple of home
44,
games ago, how you thought Jake Wilson would really break out. And then he kind of did. Pretty much that game, he really shifted things around. And then that game in Brantford, I believe it was. If I can just steal that note right there and pretend that I have memorized this. Yeah, the game in Brantford, he went 3 for 3 with 3 RBI and a couple of walks. So Wilson's really started turning around his season.
Yeah, after a bit of a slow start, definitely showing some encouraging signs at the plate. This one fouled over near us.
And when I say turning around his season, it wasn't like he was having a bad season. It was just that some things were not going as naturally for him as they were maybe last season. And now he's adjusted, made those adjustments, and turned into a very good hitter.
Tyler Plumpton will try to keep this inning alive. Takes that pitch low and away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Plumpton, a 34-year-old Peterborough native, in his 4th IBL season, all of them with Barrie. 2nd tenure with the Baycats. Inside, and it's 2-1.
Leading the team in batting average right now with a .386 batting average. Technically, Dylan Shepard and Brendan Hillier have higher batting averages, but that's a very small sample size.
2-1 pitch, called strike, and the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Plumpton.
If you're Brandon Hillier, though, with the 800 average, you're telling people that you're leading the team.
Do you think he'll just sit on that 800 all season, or
I don't know.
Try to get up to the plate again?
He has 4 hits and 5 at-bats.
Fastball, and it's fouled off near the Guelph dugout. Plumpton angry about something. And he's going to walk down to the first base side. I don't know. He hit that one awful hard. It must have gone off something. He's going to walk it off. He's kind of gingerly favoring, I think it's maybe the right ankle.
Hillier had 3 of those hits against London this year. Yeah, Plumpton must have fouled it off himself. That is not fun.
Ball was hit very hard over near the Guelph dugout. So he'll dig back in for a 2-2 count. Custodio takes his time, looks at the runner. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Grounded to third base. They go to second for the force out, and that will do it for the Baycats. So they strand 2, and through 2, it's a 2-0 Guelph lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
Inning number 3 brought to you by First Aid Canada, your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com.
Juan Benitez and the Barrie Baycats will face Ethan Hammond, Malik Collymore, and Claudio Custodio. 3-4-5. In the order for the Guelph Royals here in the third inning. I'm Ben Davey along with Patrick Melbourne. Kendra Doyle on assignment tonight at the ballpark at Vintage Throne Stadium on a beautiful Sunday evening. Good crowd filling in here as we get through the early part of the ball game. Starting to see more and more kids out on these Sunday night games now with the summer break well underway. And a first pitch strike to Ethan Hammond. Hammond got the Royals on the board early in this one with an RBI single to bring in J.D. Williams. Hits this one foul right side, and he's behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Baycats with just one postponement on the schedule this season so far due to inclement weather, and that game was in Guelph.
It was in Guelph.
The weather here in Barrie has been perfect all summer, and I, again, cannot recall a year in all my seasons of doing Baycats games where we've gotten this far into the season without a single weather delay, never mind postponement. It's just been great weather here all summer.
I wonder when that game will get rescheduled.
Called strike 3, down goes Hammond.
That was a good pitch.
No confirmation yet on that rescheduled game, but the Baycats will have 2 visits in Guelph still to come.
I was supposed to make my first trip to Guelph for that game, and I wasn't able to go because of that.
That was July 5th. No word yet on when that will be rescheduled. And then the other scheduled game in Guelph will be on Tuesday, August 9th.
It actually wasn't the worst timing for a postponement from Barrie's perspective because they were playing something like 8 games in the first 10 days or something. It was 7 or 8 games in that first 10 days of July. So having a postponement in there for a day off was not the world's worst timing.
Yeah, that was a really busy Canada Day holiday weekend they were coming off where they played 3 in a row, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They had the Monday off, and then the Guelph game was on the Tuesday night.
Yeah, 7 in the first 10 days.
1 ball and 1 strike to Malik Collymore, the third baseman. Benitez misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike. That didn't miss by much. Here's the pitch from Juan Benitez, and that one lifted high, left side. Going back is Noel McGarry Doyle over near Jake Wilson to his left. Makes the catch. And there's 2 down in the inning. Benitez has retired 3 in a row.
Designated hitter number 26, Claudio.
And he'll face fellow Dominican, Claudio Custodio. Pitcher versus pitcher here. Custodio flied out to center field in his first at bat.
Custodio spent a couple years in the Baltimore Orioles organization, making it all the way up to AAA.
So Custodio now at the 500 mark, 7 for 14 this season. Custodio from La Ramona, Dominican Republic, and his countryman Juan Benitez from Santo Domingo.
Custodio has also played shortstop and second base. It's not really played shortstop or second base in the IBL.
Hits this one to third, and it gets past Branfi and Fonte, and it's into left field. Picked up by Noel McGarry-Doyle, and Claudio Custodio gets his first hit of the night.
He's also played in the Dominican Winter League lead-om over the last few years. All as a pitcher. Yeah, all as a pitcher.
So 8 for 15. Custodio up to 533 with the batting average this season. So he'll go to first base with 2 out for Jeff McLeod, the right fielder.
Played for the Estrellas Orientales. It's a really fun league to watch over the winter, by the way.
Fouled off left side.
If you're ever in the mood after summer league stop and you don't want to stop watching baseball, that's one you can watch. And other than most of the games being in Spanish, it's almost like, you know, top baseball hasn't stopped.
Such a geographically small country when you consider the amount of talent that it has produced in Major League Baseball and right through all of baseball, and increasingly so in recent years.
And Dominican Republic baseball fans absolutely love their baseball.
1 ball, 1 strike, swing and a miss, or foul tip, excuse me.
Some of the biggest stars in the IBL are from the Dominican Republic. Some of the biggest stars in Major League Baseball are from the Dominican Republic, and we'll see a bunch of them in the World Baseball Classic soon.
1-2 pitch, strike 3. Plumpton will make the throw, and McLeod will just give up on it. And that will complete the strikeout. So down go the Royals without scoring for the first time tonight. And through 2.5 innings, it's 2-0 Guelph. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Royals.
We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning at Vintage Throne Stadium, a 2-0 Royals lead. I'm Ben Davey with Patrick Melbourne.
fans, Baycats Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Baycats. From jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and fan gear, Baycats Shop has it all. Visit shopbaycats.com today or follow on Instagram at shopbaycats.
And first pitch swinging is Jansen, and it's right into the glove of Malik Collymore, one away. Well, you were showing me during the commercial break there the potential World Baseball Classic lineup for Team Canada. And boy, it looks really good.
It'll be an interesting team to see how it'll go over the next few months. There are qualifying games for different places in late September, I saw.
Nice backhand play by Kyle Cush. The relay to Custodio in time for the out. Wow. Noel McGarry-Doyle had the afterburners on. I thought maybe he had legged that out. Not so, says first base ump Sean Wetherell. It was a bang-bang play.
It's not the first time this year that there have been some controversies at first base on whether Noel McGarry-Doyle made it on one of those plays. He usually does.
2 quick outs here for Claudio Custodio, and this is what he does. Ando, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Custodio works quickly from the stretch, even with nobody on. That one's in the dirt. Ball 1.
Are you a big World Baseball Classic fan in general?
The last one I watched was when it was held in Toronto,
right?
Which was really exciting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of escapes my radar. And, of course, with the pandemic the last couple of years.
Well, it was supposed to be a couple years ago, but
yeah.
It got delayed until next year.
Yep. And you were musing about the potential possibility of some IBL players maybe getting some opportunities. I mean, you never know.
Wonder if some of the top players in this league could be considered. You look at a guy like Dalton Pompey.
Called strike 3 and 2 now to Ando. You mentioned Garrett Takamatsu.
Garrett Takamatsu is another top bat.
All-around player who could certainly help a team like that. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Custodio to Ando. And that one fouled off the mask of the catcher, Brendan Keys. And he'll need a minute or two.
So Team Canada is going to win the championship in the World Baseball Classic thanks to closer Brad Grieveson.
You're calling it right now?
Love it. I think there are players on different IBL teams that definitely are good enough to be considered for those teams.
Swing and a miss. Ando goes down on strikes, and that is the second strikeout tonight for Claudio Custodio. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down for the second time. We're a third of the way through this one tonight with the Royals on top 2-0. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
Foods, feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005.
Fourth inning we go here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Bottom third of the order for the Royals. Kyle Cush, Brendan Keys, and Brendo LaRue due up for Guelph here in the top of the fourth inning. The fourth is brought to you by Centerfield Foods, feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005.
Second time through the order still for Benitez.
So many kids here at the ballpark tonight. It's great to see. Able to enjoy those late bedtimes now that they're on summer break. See a lot of kids with gloves.
We were
Some of them
talking,
even throwing the ball around here between innings, which is kind of neat to see.
talking over the break. We were, talking about the World Baseball Classic a little earlier, also about the home run derby coming up. Do you have a favorite for that one?
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed Aaron Judge turned it down. He's when did he win it? 3 or 4 years ago, I think. So I guess he's kind of
You
figured.
can understand why some of them wouldn't want to mess with their swings on an event like that.
Yep. And this one's fouled off to the left side.
Pete Alonso going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's quite an impressive specimen, Pete Alonso. My goodness.
And
How about Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, he is. He can hit.
Yeah. And I mean, his power's kind of come out of nowhere in the last couple of years. This one hit to right center field. And the catch is made by Juan Familia. Down goes Cush.
MLB draft happening tonight. First day of it, anyway. I'm going to be watching some of that after this game is over. So
Yeah, you're really excited about
well,
that draft.
It's interesting, I think. You can see some of the next stars, where they're going to go.
I try to remember the names of the guys that get drafted and then just tuck them away in my mind for a couple of years later and then see, where they end up.
We're getting a couple more sons of Hall of Famers in this one, or near Hall of Famers. Jackson Holliday, Matt Holliday's son. Drew Jones, Andrew Jones' son.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, isn't that interesting?
Carl Crawford's got a son in there, I think. Justin Crawford, I believe.
Benitez with a 1-1 pitch to Keys, and it's high and outside, ball 2.
And then, of course, Malik Williams is in that draft.
Keys in his 6th IBL season, former Toronto Maple Leaf. 28 years old. Watches a high fastball, and the count is 3-1 to him.
Tyler Plumpson going out there for a meeting on the mound. Just trying to get on the same page with Benitez. Last couple of pitches, they were not really on the same page. And now 3-1 count to a guy that has already been out today once.
3-1 from Benitez. Fouled off, and the count is full. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Royals. No runs, 2 hits for the Baycats. Both Barrie hits coming in the second. Called strike 3. 60th pitch for Juan Benitez tonight. And Brendan Keys is rung up for the second out of the inning.
And that's what a meeting like that can do to your confidence. Get back on the same page with your catcher. You know what to throw. Get the scouting report and get the strikeout.
3 strikeouts for Juan now, and he'll face the number 9 hitter, Brendo LaRue. First pitch swinging, and it's a foul ball. LaRue, the rookie, in his first IBL season, hit a sac fly to bring home Kyle Cush with Guelph's second run of the game tonight. Here's Benitez with a 0-1, and he gets that one in for a strike. It's 0-2 now. Ninth appearance of the season for Benitez. All of them starts. This one lifted to shallow right field. It'll be the second baseman, Roy Sando, in shallow right to take the out, and that will do it for Guelph as they go 3 up, 3 down for the first time this evening. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-0 Guelph. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Baycats fans, the Baycats will be hosting their annual golf tournament on August 18th at Innisbrook Golf Course. The Baycats are opening up to fans this year. If you're interested, please go to the front entrance for more information or go to barriebaycats.com to sign up. Ryan Rio stepping up to the plate, stepping up to the mic, Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick. Rio, Infante, and Wilson all due up for the Baycats here in the fourth. They trail 2-0. Rio, first pitch swinging, fouls it off. That golf tournament sounds like a lot of fun. You can sign up as an individual player. You can register your own foursome. And there was also an option on there where you can sponsor a Baycat to join your foursome. So I guess if you had 3 players and you wanted a fourth, you could.
Are you good at golf?
No, I've only golfed 4 or 5 times in my life. So
I knew you would say no. I've asked you that before, and I knew you would say no. That's why I asked again.
And conveniently, I'm out of town that week as
So,
well.
how bad are you at golf?
Pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I just can't master the swing. I mean, I'm used to a baseball swing.
Yeah.
And there's a baseball swing from Rio, but it's right into the glove of Brando LaRue. 1 out in the inning. And yeah, I don't have the fluidity for the golf swing. I kind of hack at the ball a little more. So, how about you? Are you going to be swinging the clubs at that event? Or
I've never played.
You've never played golf
No.
before, eh? No. So if you were to choose a Baycat, who would you pick? If you had.
I'd have to ask them if they were any good at golf, because I'm sure I wouldn't be.
Branfi Infante comes to the plate. Swing and a miss. I mean, having a power baseball swing doesn't always translate to a power swing on the golf course.
It doesn't translate to other sports all the time.
That I can tell you.
Are there any other sports you are good at?
I played tennis one season for a whole summer.
You could almost, if you weren't any good at tennis, you could almost use the same excuse where you were almost like trying to do the baseball thing too much.
Yeah. Well, tennis ball's a lot easier to hit than a baseball, but it's great cardio. Called strike 3, Infante goes down. 2 quick outs here for Custodio in the 4th.
Yeah, Custodio's been mixing his pitches and just getting through these innings fairly easily. Only 2 base runners so far for the Baycats.
3 strikeouts for Custodio today, and Jake Wilson comes to the plate. So Custodio now with 126 strikeouts.
So you're good at tennis, you're not so good at golf. What about baseball or softball?
Yeah, I played a lot of baseball as a kid.
Okay.
Even played some church league in recent years, and coached my son's team for about, I guess, 5 or 6 years.
So I hope you're
going
to say you're good at baseball or softball,
oh yeah,
and not bad at it.
baseball's my sport. Yeah, both as an announcer and as a player.
That's good.
But I've never really played at any sort of competitive level. Shallow center field. That's a base hit. Jake Wilson, 2 for 2.
He's had a really good approach at the plate today.
And you really like that middle of the order for him. Seems to be working.
I think it's working really well. So you mentioned you coached your a team there. What was that like? What kind of stuff did you do?
So much fun. So much fun. I'd do anything. You know, at that level, sometimes you're base coaching, sometimes you're making out the lineup, trying to teach the kids.
You use stats and analytics to make the lineup?
Yeah, not exactly. But it was so fun. Like when he started, he was probably 8 or 9 years old, and at that level, like they're just hitting it right off the tee, and the outfield just like converges on the ball wherever it's hit. You know, they're not going to their correct positions; they're just chasing the ball.
Right.
It's kind of like soccer. You see kids kick a soccer ball, and they just all move wherever the ball moves.
So you're not going up to your son who's 8 years old and saying, "Well, the launch angle on that swing was just a little bit off."
No.
I'm moving you down in the order. And you're going to pitch because that exit velo off your hand. But no, that's pretty cool.
Wilson goes. Foul tip. And Wilson will have to go back.
Does that
1 and
make
2.
you a better baseball announcer and analyst when you get that close to the game in a coaching sense and are able to point out and notice what needs fixing? Does it translate?
I never really thought about it, but probably to some effect. Certainly, like when I was coaching my son at first base, I'm studying the pitcher a lot closer, helping the kids pick up on, pickoff attempts and that sort of thing.
So you can see subtle things in the pitcher when he might be going over.
It's a lot different when you're on the field as a player or a coach than it is for us sitting up here.
Because it's easy to say, like, after he throws, throw over to first. But it's different to kind of pick up on the signs on when he is moving over.
Exactly.
And that's why it's important to have a good first base coach.
Yeah.
Steven
1
Zoldra,
and 2.
normally the first base coach.
Strike 3. Wilson was off the pitch, but it doesn't matter because Adam Odd strikes out, and there are 3 down in the 4th. We go to the 5th. This game moving right along. It's a 2-0 Guelph lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Baycats in the 4th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base.
Did you play baseball at all?
Softball.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Fifth inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Ben Davey with Patrick Melbourne and a 2-0 Royals lead here at the ballpark.
Fifth inning brought to you by Etal Paving for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for over 37 years because you deserve the best.
J.D. Williams at the top of the Guelph lineup has a pair of doubles tonight and a run scored, and he'll step up to the plate here for his third look at Juan Benitez.
I would love to see
top of the fifth inning.
IBL stats on. Whoa!
That one hit him. He'll toss the bat away.
I'd love to see IBL stats on third time through the order. Glad J.D. Williams is okay. On third time through the batting order versus second time through the batting order, because dynamic does shift a little bit there. Some would say the familiarity off the pitcher would give the hitters an advantage.
Williams trying to walk it off. Gets a little pat from Tyler Plumpton as he crosses home plate, and he'll trot down to first base.
Yeah, good. Great to see he's okay. And others would say that it starts benefiting the pitcher again because now you've got a little bit more familiarity with the hitters.
Shortstop number 2, Connor Morrow.
Connor Morrow comes to the plate for the third time tonight. Williams at first. Nobody out here in the fifth inning. First pitch fastball, center field, pretty deep. Wilson goes back near the fence, and he makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Williams had gone about 4/5 of the way to second. He'll turn around and has plenty of time to get back.
And that's the side of Jake Wilson's defense that I love. Making great routes, using his speed to track down that ball. Did a really, really nice job.
And J.D. Williams, as a base runner, did the exact perfect thing there. Got almost as far as second base. He saw, obviously, was going to have a lot of time to get back. Just in case that ball got by Wilson, he would be in a good opportunity perhaps to even score. But he's back to first base now with one out for Ethan Hammond. And he draws a throw. 2-0 Royals. We're in the fifth. 65 pitches for Juan Benitez tonight. He's thrown 44 strikes. Control has not been an issue. Runner goes. Called strike, throw down, and the tag is late.
Got a really good jump on that.
Stolen base for J.D. Williams. Chapave out there to make the call at second. No balls, one strike to Hammond. Hammond drove in the game's first run in the first inning with an RBI single to bring in J.D. Williams. They'll try to repeat that here. Fouls that one back to the screen. Benitez had 43 strikeouts coming into tonight. He's got 3 this evening. Has not walked a man so far tonight. And a 0-2 count here to Ethan Hammond. The pitch. Fouled at home plate. And it caroms over to the on-deck circle. Count holds at 0-2. Royals went 13-8 in the first half, 3-1 so far in the second half. Baycats 12-9 in the first half and 4-2 in the second half.
We have info on the rescheduling from that rainout from the Royals and the Baycats. It has been rescheduled for Tuesday, August 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Thank you to the Guelph Royals Twitter account.
I don't have the Guelph schedule in front of me, but that works out pretty good for Barrie because they've got the Saturday and the Sunday off. At that whole long weekend, that whole civic holiday weekend, the Baycats are off. It's a long stretch of off days. That works out great for the Baycats. They don't play again until August 6th.
Do you mind if I add it to your schedule here?
Go right ahead.
Okay, I'll write neatly.
Just don't jinx the weather. Nice diving play by Ando off his glove. He keeps it from getting by him. Unable to make the play. That'll be an infield hit.
You're right.
For Ethan Hammond.
Guelph is the only team that plays on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's a tough night of the week for baseball, but they're used to it in Guelph. That's the way it's been for as long as I can remember. In fact, all 3 Baycat games in Guelph this season have been Tuesday nights.
I'll write it on mine too, so I didn't just mess up your pocket schedule there. I'll write it in my program.
It almost looks like the schedule was designed such that
there would be rainouts.
Yeah, because there's another open week in mid-August.
I think you're absolutely right.
The Baycats are off from the 14th to the 19th.
And it's smart to schedule for rainouts like that. So.
But again, this year it hasn't really been necessary for Barrie, other than the one road game. But no,
you're just jinxing it right now.
No, it's really truly remarkable. I haven't jinxed it yet. I've been talking about it for the last few weeks.
What did you jinx last game in Toronto?
The bird pooping on my head?
Well, no, that was early.
1-2 the count
you
here.
Jinxed something.
I can't remember. You're right. I did jinx something. I can't remember what it was.
I forget what it was, too.
Well, that bird jinxed the Baycats. That I can tell you.
Yeah, it was the bird's fault. It wasn't yours.
1-2. Benitez checks the runner. Hammond at first. Williams at third. Still just one out here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Right back up the middle and past the shortstop, Owen Jansen. It's into center field and it scores another run. Williams crosses home plate for the second time tonight. That is an RBI single for Malik Collymore. 2 on, 1 out, and the Royals are up 3-0.
Claudio Custodio.
And here's the pitcher, Claudio Custodio.
2 straight singles in the inning.
Custodio singled off Benitez in his last at bat.
It's an important couple of batters now, because if you can keep the damage low and keep it at 3-0, you can get back into this game with a good inning.
First pitch fastball is low, and it's 1-0. Benitez will step off the mound and adjust his cap. Middle infield will be on their toes for a ground ball here. A potential double play to get out of the inning. Outside, count is 2-0. Owen Jansen, Roy Sando at double play depth for the Baycats.
I think I just got spoiled on who the first two picks were, but I don't know the order for the MLB draft. So
You're going to watch it on tape delay?
well,
when
I
you
just
get
got a
home?
notification saying, and spoiler alert, by the way, that Sons of Major League Baseball players just went 1 and 2.
Wow.
So I'm assuming that's Drew Jones and Jackson Holliday. But I
That'll
don't
be
know which
interesting.
order, and I'm not going to look because I want to watch it.
2 balls and 1 strike to Custodio. Custodio back to 500 now. Fouled off left side. Jeff McLeod on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Custodio. Fans with a rhythmic applause wanting a strikeout here from Juan Benitez. Checks the runner at second. Here's the leg kick in the 2-2, and that's high, and the count is full. Royals coming off a 9-0 win in Brantford yesterday. Up 3-0 here today against the Baycats. Guelph trying to get another win streak going. They've won 10 of their last 12. 3-2. Swing and a miss. The fans got their strikeout. That's the 4th of the game for Juan Benitez.
Out of town scoreboard update again here on Baycats TV. You can watch Baycats TV on BarrieBaycats.com on a new spoiler-free page as well as highlights. Other than this game, which is 3-0 Guelph here in the 5th, London beat Toronto today 14-8. Welland beat Hamilton 11-5, and 11-5 was also the final score in Kitchener as they beat the Red Sox. So Welland, Kitchener, and London won their games today over Toronto, Brantford, and Hamilton. This is the only game active right now of the 4 here on a IBL Sunday.
So the Jackfish extend their win streak to 7. They haven't been really able to widen their lead over the London Majors, though, because London's been winning. They've won 3 in a row and 7 of 10. And that one's fouled off. Count is 0-2 to Jeff McLeod.
Both those teams are winning, and they're winning a lot.
It's going to be real interesting to see how the second half unfolds. Guelph and Barrie, as mentioned, neck and neck. Baycats can tie the Royals if they win tonight. They'll be tied for the number 3 spot in the standings. And Toronto not far behind, only a half a game behind the Baycats coming into this evening. So you got 3 teams separated by a game and a half in the middle of the pack. Guelph, Barrie, and Toronto. And some separation now starting to form between the top 5 and the bottom 3. Kitchener, Hamilton, and Brantford. 0-2, and it's a high fastball. The count is 1-2 now to Jeff McLeod. Two on, 2 out. Hammond at second, Collymore at first. Royals looking to add to a 3-0 lead here in the 5th inning. Benitez to McLeod. Right side, and it's into right field. And they're going to send the runner. Hammond comes around from third. He's in to score. The throw into third is picked up by Branfi Infante. Cutting across. That's an RBI single for Jeff McLeod. 4-0 Royals.
First baseman number 5, Kyle Cush.
So Juan Benitez in some trouble here in the 5th inning. A little bit of stretching in the Baycat bullpen as we speak. Juan's a guy that can give you innings, and they've gone deep with the pitch count with him previous starts this season. He's up to 85 now on the pitch count, 58 strikes, 26 balls.
Definitely some movement in that bullpen right now.
Juan went 5 innings to earn the win against Kitchener here on Saturday. He's gone 7 innings 3 times this year. They may be happy to get 5 out of him here tonight. That one's in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Kyle Cush is 1 for 2 today. Royals with 9 hits tonight off Juan Benitez. Call strike. Cush wasn't sure about that one, but it's 2-2. Cush thought that pitch might have been down and in. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Benitez with the pitch. High, the count is full.
Kind of looks like Brad Grieveson warming up, doesn't it?
Big
On the left
right-hander
there?
could be, yes.
Someone's just stretching and someone's really started to warm up. I believe that's Grieveson.
Grieveson is one of the 2 right-handers.
And I think Chris Cox is the other one there.
And Juan Benitez walks his first batter of the night. Kyle Cush keeps the inning alive, and Brendan Keys now will be the 8th Royal to come to the plate. So Collymore at third, McLeod at second, Cush at first. The bases are loaded, and a chance for the Royals to break this game open.
That is Chris Cox, number 23, and number 12, Brad Grieveson.
Josh Matlow on the top step of the dugout watching Juan Benitez. He'll let him work here to the number 8 hitter. And left-handed hitting Brendan Keys.
Thanks to Brian Backlund for getting us that camera angle.
Benitez looking to get out of this inning. 0-1 pitch, foul to the screen. And the snowballs and 2 strikes. Keys struck out against Benitez in his last plate appearance. Benitez adjusts his cap as Keys steps back into the box. Looks in for the sign from Tyler Plumpton. The 30-year-old Dominican comes set, now steps off. Collymore at third, McLeod at second, Cush at first. Pitch from Benitez, bounces up to the plate, off to the mask is Plumpton, and coming home, and the tag at the plate, not in time. In to score is Malik Collymore, who got a good break on that ball as it squirted away from Tyler Plumpton. Benitez in position, came off the mound in a hurry to catch the throw from Plumpton, and they couldn't get the tag on him in time. 5-0 for the Royals. 3 runs here in the 5th. And the count 2-2 now to Kyle Cush. Here's the pitch from Benitez. And he fouls it off at the plate.
This is good timing for Tyler Plumpton to take a second and go out to Benitez, reset. Just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning, but you really do not want anyone else to come in and score. And obviously, you never want anybody to come in and score, but right now, the difference between a 5-0 game and a 7-0 game is massive.
Tyler Plumpton having some issues. He went out to talk to Benitez. Now he's going to come over to the Baycat dugout, and they might need to replace him.
Yeah, he's had some hard hits today,
He's
and
been
it looks
banged
like
up.
he's exiting the game. And Tyler Plumpton is really, really tough, but apparently today he'll need at least a minute.
I think that ball that was fouled off at the plate by Kyle Cush may have caught a part of the leg or the ankle where Plumpton had fouled the ball off himself earlier in the ball game. And if so, if it was that same spot that was already hurting, that'll be
really, really tough to recover from in the moment.
He'll want an ice bag on that as quickly as possible. So it looks like Plumpton's going to take off the gear. Josh Matlow out to explain the situation to home plate ump Jeff Rose.
And I would imagine Dylan Shepard would be the catcher coming in. Him and James Anderson, the other 2 catchers on the roster.
So the Baycats will need to make a defensive substitution here. And this is a 5-0 Guelph lead. 2-2 the count to Kyle Cush. So he'll make his way back to the Guelph dugout while the Baycats get this sorted out. And we'll see who puts on the gear. We have no angle on that here from where we sit. Could be Anderson, could be Shepard. Shepard, we're told, not available for use tonight.
So it'll either be James Anderson or an emergency catcher.
Three across the plate for Guelph.
It is Anderson.
In this 5th inning, and now James Anderson will come out and get caught up on the signals and such with Juan Benitez. Very, very short conversation. And we'll get back to business here in this 5th inning as Juan Benitez will try to finish off Brendan Keys with a 2-2 count. As we get the signal from the umpire, Jeff Rose, that James Anderson is into the game, and he'll take some warm-up tosses. That's an unusual situation that you don't see all the time.
That's to get James Anderson warm in the game as much as anything else.
Now catching for the Baycats, number 34, James Anderson.
So we wish Tyler Plumpton the best.
Batting for the Royals now, note the catcher, number 23, Brendan Keys.
So a 2-2 count to Keys here. Benitez trying to finish off the inning. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. A foul tip into the glove, excuse me, and it's a strike. And that will do it for Guelph, but not before they score 3. We're through 4.5, and it's a 5-0 Guelph lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Royals in the 5th inning, 3 runs. Leading off the 5th inning for the Baycats.
5th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium with Patrick Melmore and I'm Ben Baby. It's Juan Familia, James Anderson, and Owen Jansen, bottom of the order for the Baycats, and they got some work to do. Trailing Claudio Custodio and the Guelph Royals by a score of 5-0 here on this Sunday night game. First pitch called strike to Familia. Familia 0 for 1 as he lined one into the glove of Malik Collymore for the second out of the 2nd inning. Custodio with a pitch, swing and a miss. Familia couldn't catch up to that fastball, and quickly it's 0-2. Royals had a season-high 7-game win streak from late June into early July. That streak began with a 6-1 win over the Baycats in Guelph. And as mentioned, they've reeled off 10 of their last 12. One of the hotter teams in the league coming into this week's action, along with the Welland Jackfish. Swing and a miss. 5th strikeout for Claudio Custodio. And James Anderson will come to the plate for the first time tonight.
James Anderson.
Plumpton was 0 for 1. And had to remove himself from the game due to injury in the top half of this inning. Called strike to Anderson to start him off. So Custodio coming right at these Baycat hitters with first pitch strikes.
He has only given up 3 hits today, so you might as well go into the strike zone and challenge hitters until it doesn't work, especially when you have a big lead.
No runs, 3 hits for the Baycats. They've stranded 3. 5 runs, 9 hits for the Royals. They've stranded 6. Pitch from Custodio, swung on and missed. Anderson chased, and down he goes. 3 straight strikeouts for Claudio Custodio.
Shortstop number 14.
And all 4 of the last Baycats he's retired have been via the strikeout.
Make
Only
that
the single to
6
Jake
on the
Wilson
day.
breaking it up.
Owen Jansen has become a real fan favorite for the Barrie Baycats. He batted leadoff yesterday. And he's a guy that has really been one of the most improved players in the IBL this year.
62 pitches for Custodio so far, 45 strikes. And another first pitch strike here. Owen Jansen, 0-1. Trying to keep this inning alive for the top of the order. Noel McGarry Doyle is on deck. Pitch from Custodio, swung on and missed.
Good
0-2.
fastball there. Had movement on it.
Former Baycat, Claudio Custodio, played for this team in 2017. Here's the leg kick in the 0-2, and it's fouled off. Has a career 12-1 record, 5-0 this year, a 2.19 ERA, and a league-leading 123 strikeouts coming into tonight. Add 6 to that total.
And he's hitting .538 coming into today.
Amazing. You have to have him in the league MVP conversation with
He'd be leading that conversation right now.
impressive numbers on both sides of the ledger. 0-2, swing and a miss. Make that 130 strikeouts for Claudio Custodio this season. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. We're through 5, and it's a 5-0 Guelph lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Back live at Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater. It's a 5-0 Royals lead. Our sixth inning is brought to you by Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. Hell's Bells playing on the PA here at Vintage Throne Stadium, and that can only mean one thing. In to pitch for the Baycats, Brad Grieveson. And on the mic for us, Patrick Belmore.
Thank you very much, Ben. Brad Grieveson just finishing his warm-up tosses with the new catcher, James Anderson. Grieveson in his 13th game this season, all in relief. He's a guy that can give you stamina out of the bullpen, though. He has closed and started since returning to the IBL last season. 4-1 this season with a 1.87 ERA. First pitch to Brando LaRue is a check swing. He went 0-1. Grieveson has 30 strikeouts. He has 4 walks. I believe 2 of those were intentional walks as well, so it's really a good strikeout to walk ratio for the right-hander. On the ground to the shortstop, Owen Jansen moving over, throwing to first. Nice catch by Ryan Rio, 1 away. Grieveson has also limited the hits. He's just been a very, very effective pitcher in whatever role the Baycats have asked him to be in since rejoining the team, and especially this season.
Last worked on Wednesday night at Christie Pitts in Toronto, pitched an inning that night, and
Center fielder number 9, J.D. Williams.
it was a scoreless inning for the Baycats. That was July 7th, not last Wednesday, excuse me. July 7th at home here against Toronto. Picked up the save that night in that 8-5 victory.
Now facing J.D. Williams, and the first pitch to Williams is up and in for a ball, 1-0. Williams has doubled twice. He's reached scoring position all 3 times. He's also been hit by a pitch. 1-0. Big cut and a miss, and the count is 1-1. He has really looked good at the plate today, and he has scored 2 of the 5 runs for the Royals.
And a
Williams
late
steps out.
Yeah, late step out. Grieveson had already rocked into his delivery, and that pitchers don't like that at all. Grieveson fortunately was able to bail out on that one.
1-1. Down low, 2-1.
Sometimes when time is called really late like that, the pitcher will just go ahead with the delivery and deliver the ball anyways, but that doesn't always go well.
Grieveson comes home, and that's a foul ball back into the mid of James Anderson, 2-2.
Second stint for Grieveson with this organization, and he's really excited about the future under Josh Matlow here.
Pitch from Grieveson is popped up over in our direction, way out of play. There it is.
Right off the roof, and there it goes. It lands into the trees right in front of a young fan wearing a blue shirt.
Count now 2-2.
Those are easy.
Couple of foul balls back-to-back there for J.D. Williams. Now Grieveson comes home, and another foul ball, 3 in a row, remains 2-2.
Those caroms off the metal roof are like picking cherries. You just park yourself underneath and wait for it to come down. Your notes ended up on that roof one game earlier this season. I remember that.
Did. Up the middle, and that'll get through for a base hit. J.D. Williams on base for the 4th time today with his 3rd hit. He has been such a good hitter for the Royals today, and in general, hitting over 320 now. Up to 329 with that hit, and that'll bring up Connor Morrow. Morrow's hitting pretty well himself. He's upwards of 350 on the season. And it's a top of the order that has been effective for the Guelph Royals.
Well, Grieveson smacked his mid in frustration on that hit by Williams. He was thinking that he probably should have knocked it down or made a play on it, but
it would have been a tough play.
Certainly was, and you rely on your reflexes in that situation, and sometimes you're able to knock it down, but you got to think about getting yourself out of the way so that you don't get injured. And then the other thing that goes through your mind is, if I knock this down, am I going to make it even tougher for my infielders behind me to get to it?
That's well said. 0-1 after the foul ball. Morrow stands in, bat over the shoulder. Grieveson has a sign, nods, now comes home, and the pitch is outside. 1-1.
Some pitchers like to just get out of the way of those and not even make the attempt. We've seen Brad knock them down in the past, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Grieveson ready. Infield in double play depth. And that's right inside the zone. Cat goes 1-2.
Tough night for Juan Benitez. He had the 5 strikeouts and some pretty good control this evening, but just unable to keep the Royals off the board, and they finally got to him in that 5th inning. big 3-run fifth, and things started to unravel.
1-2 the count. Grieveson kicks and throws. Popped up. Stays in the infield. Grieveson calling for it, but now Anderson is calling for it, and he calls everybody off, makes the catch as he steps toward the first baseman, Ryan Rio. Grieveson was calling for it, and then Rio was calling for it, but Anderson had the best view of it and called everybody off.
Yeah,
and now there are 2 away.
The pitcher should never make that catch. Often you'll see the first baseman call off the catcher when it's as close as it was to Rio there, but Anderson wanted that all the way, saw that he had a good look at it, and a nice clear sky here tonight. That was an easy catch for him.
And of course, Anderson, an experienced outfielder as well, really knows how to track those down. Baycats playing their second game, by the way, in 2 nights. They played well in yesterday. And now Guelph tonight, and then they have 3 off days as Hammond swings and misses through that one.
You make a good point with Anderson's outfield experience. It'd be interesting to ask him if that helps him on pop-ups at all behind the plate, because the ball's coming at you at a much different angle. Sometimes has a bit of a different spin on it as well, too.
Can't imagine it would hurt. Graveson goes over to first. Back in time is the speedy J.D. Williams.
The really tough ones a catcher will tell you are when you're turned around with your back facing home plate and you're trying to catch it against the screen.
Especially if the ball hits the screen, it's not a catch. 0-1 is inside, but it gets the call. So it is 0-2. I'm sure even Brad Graveson will be thanking the umpire for that strike. It was a little bit wide, it looked like, but he got the call.
Hammond was looking to the heavens. He thought that pitch was inside, if not low and inside, and now Graveson with a chance to bury him here with the 0-2.
So now everybody takes note of that strike zone. 0-2 the count. We'll see if Graveson goes right back there. He does, but this time it's hit on the ground to Owen Jansen at shortstop. Throw over to first, and that'll end the inning. A nice inning for Brad Graveson on the mound. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, it's still Guelph 5, Barrie 0. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV Barrie.
Left fielder number 95, Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Noel McGarry-Doyle will lead things off. It'll be McGarry-Doyle, then Ando and Rio here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Noel is 0 for 2 right now on this game. Claudio Custodio's looked so good. First pitch in there for a strike. Back out there on the hill. "66 pitches for Custodio. He has really been effective. Foul back. A pitcher that looked so good in his first stint in Barrie that he ended up back in minor league baseball, pitching in AA and AAA. Everybody from the kids trying to make the play. I think someone caught it. There you go. That's why you bring either a hat or a glove.
Well, the kids have been busy tonight between the foul balls and the coloring pages, which I was looking at just a few moments ago there. Right.
Do we have coloring pages?
Below.
What do they look like?
They've got baseball equipment, and there's markers down there, so you can color.
Hold on, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look over you. We don't. Do you want to run down and grab one so we can show it on camera? That's your job. I'm on play-by-play right now. 1-2 is up high, 2-2. Well, if you were on play-by-play, I would go get.
Oh, you would? Well,
yes.
There
you go.
Feel free when we get to the 8th. I'm not going to run down for coloring pages. You're just mocking me now, aren't you?
Well, you did such a good job finding that reliever's name in Toronto. 3-2 the count now to Noel McGarry Doyle. Custodio looking in, right-hander against the lefty batter. And that is strike 3. McGarry Doyle down for the 3rd time today. Fly out, ground out, now strikeout.
Claudio Custodio has now struck out 5 in a row and 6 of his last 7. And we were shocked when we looked at the season-high 123 strikeouts that he brought into tonight's game. You're seeing in person tonight exactly why that number is where it is. Absolute dominance on the mound tonight for the Royals.
Up and into Royce Ando. You know, those coloring pages are really not that far away. And we both got like pens here in the middle of scoring.
Way more interested in them than I am.
Well, I'm not getting them. Hit to deep center field. Williams going back near the warning track makes the catch, and Ando's retired, 2 out.
And the only good news for the Baycats on that long flyout is it breaks up that strikeout streak. 5 straight strikeouts before Ando finally got a hold of one and hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark.
But unfortunately, you could kind of flip that and say, you know, he broke up the strikeout streak with a 1 pitch at bat, which is not raising his pitch count, which means he might be able to go a little bit deeper into this game.
Well, because Claudio has been pounding the strike zone with such consistency tonight, and now Rio steps out just to maybe slow things down a little bit here, but it's not like they've been able to get ahead in the count against him. So when he's going to start you off with a first pitch, second pitch strike all the time, there's no point.
Big swing and a miss from Ryan Rio. Custodio's really had the strikeout stuff today.
Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Patrick, because you're so interested in these. At the end of the game, I'm going to go down and I see a SpongeBob SquarePants coloring page right now. And if that's still sitting there, I'm going to go down at the end of the game, give it to you. You can color it in. And
I can bring it back?
We can show it Thursday night when we're back here.
Which batter walked up to SpongeBob SquarePants' theme song earlier this season?
Was it Jansen? I'm trying to remember
No,
now.
it was someone who was not on the opening day roster because the walk-up song wasn't in, right?
No, you're right. Might have been Collie?
Might have been Collie.
Yeah.
So you can give it to Collie. There you go. 1-2. Up and in. 2-2.
Well, the helmet has no logo, so you could put a Baycat logo on that helmet
I
easily.
could draw the B that's on the
Yeah.
Baycats logo. There you go. That would become a collector's item once a broadcaster colored on it or something. Hits a left field. Over to the warning track is the left fielder for the Guelph Royals. That's Ethan Hammond, and that retires aside another quick inning with a strikeout and a couple of flyouts for Claudio Custodio. Heading to the 7th. Still 5-0 Royals. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
Welcome back, by the way. Seventh inning brought to you by Firehouse Subs, Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality, freshly sliced meats and cheeses piled high on toasty hot rolls. Buy Subs, save lives.
And I have photo evidence of Patrick going down and looking for coloring pages.
Yeah,
right below
I got
me here. And I took a picture there, so we have proof.
I'm drawing the Baycats logo very badly right now.
And I think this picture should appear on our social media feeds of you going down.
If only the person who was running the social media feeds tonight had access to that photo.
Well, I'll put it on my own Facebook page.
I don't think they do. 0-2 the count to Malik Collymore, who's leading off the inning against Brad Grieveson.
Seventh inning is brought to you by Firehouse Subs, Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality, freshly sliced meats and cheeses piled high on toasty hot rolls. Buy Subs, save lives.
Up in the top left corner. There we go. Oh, look at this. That's kind of the Baycats
nice.
Logo.
Kind of.
Kind of, not really. And it's like a ball, a glove, and a bat.
Actually, I think that's you're a little bit closer to the Brooklyn Dodgers with that B, I think.
It doesn't really look like the Baycats logo.
It needs a more calligraphy. Well, you kind of did it.
Yeah,
you
like
got the curly thing.
I tried. And that you know what I'm going to do? Go Baycats.
I'm going to give you a 9 out of 10 on that logo. That's pretty good.
Thank you very much. There we go. Look, can we get the view? There we go. See, it says Go Baycats now. That's how you know it's a Baycats hat.
Nicely done, Patrick.
Collymore hits it in the air to right center. Moving over is Wilson. It's actually carrying quite a bit, and it's going to go off the wall. Collymore's got himself extra bases. The ball is thrown in from the outfield. It's a double from Malik Collymore.
Well, that's the second really tough play that Jake Wilson has had to make out in the outfield tonight. The first one was a diving catch he couldn't come up with. That one against the fence, equally as difficult. He got a good read on the ball, seemed to track it down just fine, but it was out of his reach. And he went right up against that fence to try to make the catch, was unable to do so, and it's a leadoff double for Malik Collymore.
Collymore on for the third time today, has a couple of singles as well, has also flown out. So here's Custodio, a single, a strikeout, and a flyout for him. Custodio, the pitcher, and the DH. We suspected we would see him go deep in the game, as that is a ground ball to shortstop. It's going to get through for a base hit. Custodio with his second single today. And the thing about Custodio is we suspected he's a really good pitcher, so we thought he'd go deep in the game, and we'd have to wait to see if the Shohei Ohtani rule would be in effect, where he could come out of the game as a pitcher and stay in as a DH.
We may not find out tonight.
We may not find out.
Yeah.
Right fielder, number 14, Jeff McLeod.
Jeff McLeod will stand in now with 2 on and nobody out here in the third.
Custodio has gone 8 innings 4 times this season. I don't know how many of those were complete games, but I imagine at least 1 or 2 of them were.
There's a strike to McLeod. McLeod is 1 for 3 today. RBI single in the 5th inning. Big cut and a miss there, 0-2.
Grieveson doing a nice job getting ahead. Tough situation now with runners on the corners and nobody out. Guelph already up 5-0.
Whoa, up and in, 1-2. So do you think if we talk to Josh about the Baycats giveaways, this page that was on Baycats TV and has Go Baycats on it and kind of the Baycats logo, do you think that would be a good giveaway?
I think Josh would say, we don't
why
have you up.
Why weren't you talking about the game?
We don't have you guys up in the broadcast booth to be coloring pages. That's what I think Josh would say.
Big swing and a miss there for the first out of the inning. McLeod down on strikes.
But this is what we revert to in a 5-0 ball game, I suppose.
First baseman, number 5, Kyle Kush.
Brad Grieveson giving us something to talk about there with that flame-throwing strike 3. Big out to possibly set the stage here for a ground ball to get out of the inning. We'll see.
Yeah, double play would end the inning. Here's Kyle Cush, looking for his 10th hit of the season.
I am disappointed you didn't take the SpongeBob one, though.
Well,
you're very selective, I noticed.
SpongeBob's a big fan favorite. Left center field, that's going to get down and score a run. Moving in and scoring is Malik Collymore, and it's 6-0. A base hit for Kyle Cush. He does get that 10th hit. Up to second goes Custodio, and the Royals have something going again here in the 7th.
Well-placed ball by Cush. The outfield head shifted around just slightly to the right field side, so Wilson had a bit longer of a way to run down to track that, but able to hold him to a single, but it gets another run for the Royals across the plate as Collymore is in to make it 6-0.
So that'll bring up Keys. There's a strike to Brendan Keys. Keys hitting 200 on the season. He's 0 for 3 today. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out. And the Baycats would love another ground out here. 0-1. Fly ball, shallow left field, moving into foul territory as everybody runs for it, and nobody's going to get it. It was just a little bit too far into foul territory, and neither left fielder McGarry Doyle or third baseman Fonte could get there in time. So count now goes 0-2.
Well, there's no question this has been the toughest IBL opponent for the Baycats so far. The Royals have outscored Barrie 30-8 now, including this 6-0 score here tonight. They have not been an easy opponent, looking for their third win. Guelph is here this evening.
Gravison looks back at the runner. Now comes to the plate. Foul ball. This one's going to be way into foul territory. Goes into the trees.
Even in the 4-3 game that Barrie did win over the Royals here in May, Custodio really owned the Baycats through the first 5 innings for sure. I think it was into around the 6th where the Baycats started to get to him that night.
Fouled off in the same place but further away. Guelph scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the 5th, and now another one here in the 7th. Off the end of the bat to second base. Ando plays it well, gets it to second. Jansen makes the play. They'll only get that runner, though, as there are now going to be runners on the corners with 2 out for Brando LaRue.
Well, the infield was yelling, and Fonte over at third base thought maybe Jansen might have a chance to make a throw down to third to try to get Custodio, who was a little bit slow getting down there from second base, and they would have had to have applied the tag to get the out there, but they didn't make the attempt. So Custodio got to third base, but Cush retired on the force out at second.
So fielder's choice for Brendan Keys, and that'll bring up Brando LaRue.
It was a forced play all around, so Custodio should have been in motion as soon as that ball was hit. And he was a little bit slow getting off the bag at second.
Action again in the Baycats bullpen, by the way, as a couple of righties are warming up. Oh, 1. Just misses the zone, 1-1. Chris Cox is one of those pitchers. Henry Civil is the other one of those pitchers, which I guess makes sense. As that one comes near us, goes down into the crowd.
That was a strange one. That one went off the top of the screen, and then it hit right above the public address area.
Rob, why didn't you make the catch? He says he almost got it.
Rob Daniels could have had that go-go gadget arm reaching up to grab that one, but it hit off the facing right above the PA area.
Rob Daniels, our PA announcer.
Maybe we'll get one before the end of the night.
Not on this pitch as Ryan Rio moves over and makes the catch in foul territory to retire the side. Heading to the bottom of the 7th. Royals add 1 at 6-0. You're watching Baycats TV and the Baycats on Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Royals in the 7th, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on base.
Bottom 7 fans, Baycats tickets are now available for every game at Vintage Throne Stadium this season. Head to barriebaycats.com/tickets to buy online or find a location close to you to find deals today. Branfi Infante leads things off here in the 7th. First pitch from Custodio is swung on and missed, 0-1. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davey here with you. Brian Backlund is our producer. Gary Mason, our statistician. Troy Wellington doing the video board and helping out with graphics. Branfi Infante hits it foul on the right side. Rod Daniels, we just mentioned him. He's our PA announcer, and our photographer today is Sam Hossack.
Nice to see Sam back at the ballpark. Yeah, Bob's been away for a week or two, and Sam, a familiar face here around the ballpark, and getting a chance to do a couple of games this year, which is great to see.
Up and in. Count now 1-2.
Bradford leads the Baycats in championship rings. He has 6.
Weekly hit, third base side, and it's foul.
He fouled that off his leg as well. Not as bad as the one Plumpton fouled off himself earlier tonight, but this is going to be one bruised up team at the end of this game, I think.
3 off days coming up, and they might need them. Hit to third. That one's going to get through and go all the way to the outfield. Infante might have extra bases. He rounds first. And taking a long time to get to it is Ethan Hammond in left field. Infante goes to second, standing up. It's a double for Branfi Infante.
Yeah, Hammond, who's a very good defensive left fielder, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, really showed no urgency getting over to that ball. And Infante wasn't really running that hard the second either. And even now you can see he's still walking gingerly out there as he hands off the equipment and takes his lead at second base, but he saw he had plenty of time to get to second base.
First extra base hit for the Baycats since the second inning. And the second one today off Claudio Custodio, the great right-handed pitcher. First pitch to Wilson is ball 1-0. Wilson and then Adam Odd due up.
Custodio had retired 7 in a row prior to that double by Infante.
1-0 is up and away. Henry Civil continues to get warmed up. Chris Cox has done his warm-up tosses. We wonder which of the two is going to come out for the 8th. Brad Grieveson can throw longer, but with all the action in the bullpen, he might not. A strike to Jake Wilson, 2-1. Crowd thought it was outside.
Custodio had retired 13 out of 14. A single by Jake Wilson was the only hit to break up that string.
The zone has been on the wide side to right-handed hitters, and that is kind of the same pitch, 2-2. I was about to say it hasn't been as wide to the lefties, but, you know, it could always change. You don't really want it to. 2-2. Hits a left field. Hammond's not going to get there. It gets down. Rounding third, Infante. Throw coming to the plate is cut off. Custodio dropped the ball, and Branfi Infante is going to score at 6-1.
Nice bit of hitting by Jake Wilson going the opposite way, placing that ball in the perfect spot. It gave Infante plenty of chance to round third and get in to score. And an accurate throw by Hammond, but it didn't have nearly enough on it to get to home plate. And Infante is able to get Barrie's first run of the night. Let's see if Barrie can build a little bit of momentum here. Back-to-back hits by Infante and Wilson.
Third hit of the day for Jake Wilson. He has been their offensive star. Just a great approach from the start. Has been seeing the ball super well and now has an RBI. Here's Adam Odd. First pitch from Custodio is swung on and missed, 0-1. Fantastic sky, as noted by Brian Backlund, our producer. It really is a nice one. As the sun mostly set. That one's outside.
Red sky at night, sailor's delight, as they say. We got some beautiful weather ahead of us. Look at that. Beautiful shot. Got to say, of all the IBL ballparks, this one does offer some of the prettiest sunsets. And it's not in the line of sight of the hitter either.
1-1 is fouled away, 1-2. Odd has singled and struck out. Good to see Adam back in the batting order for the Baycats.
If you enjoy a beautiful sunset sky and you sit down the left field line at this ballpark, you get a really nice view of the sun as it disappears behind the trees and a beautiful colored sky that follows.
Count 1 and 2 to Adam Odd. Kicks and comes home. That one's up high. 2 and 2.
92 pitches now for Custodio, 65 strikes.
Was just doing the math. You beat me there, and you were quicker on the math.
Custodio routinely gives you more than 100 pitches, and I'm sure he's got plenty left in the tank here tonight.
Staying in the batting order maybe afterwards as Odd takes strike 3. It was a little bit high and a little bit wide, and Odd slowly getting out of the batter's box to maybe show the home plate umpire, Jeff Rose, what he thought of that. Juan Familia will stand in now.
9th strikeout for Custodio this evening, and Jeff Rose is going to make him swing in a 5-run ball game here in the late innings.
Well, I don't know that Claudio Custodio has really needed a bigger strike zone to work with tonight. That's the thing.
It seems, though, pitchers that are well respected and they have that pedigree, they seem to earn the respect of the umpire, and oftentimes you get those calls later in the game.
That's a good point. Pitchers earn their strikes, and the way Custodio threw in the first few innings, he's certainly earned a bigger strike zone from their perspective. Brad McQuinn, by the way, has come in to hit for Juan Familia. McQuinn, a left-handed hitter against the right-handed Custodio, taking his 10th at-bat of the season. Hits it on the ground up the middle. That one's going to get through. Fast exit velo off the bat. McQuinn rounds first. It's a base hit for Brad McQuinn.
Well, the Baycats try to send a message to the Royals here that this game is far from over. They've done it before, and they need a big run, a big inning here in this bottom of the 7th to chip away at this deficit, which is now at 5. Suddenly you got the tying run in the on-deck circle. James Anderson comes to the plate here as the Baycats try to get some production out of the bottom of the order. Haven't been able to do much tonight.
Jake Wilson up to scoring position for the second time today. Ramfi Infante doubled to lead off the inning. He's already scored. That's the lone Baycats run to this point. Brad McQuinn with the singles. That one's hit up the middle. Could be a double play ball. 2nd for 1, back to first 2. An inning-ending double play. So the Baycats get a couple of runners into scoring position. 1 scores, but 1 does not. Heading to the 8th inning. Guelph Royals 6, Barrie Baycats 1. Ben Davey to call the 8th, and the rest of the way for you. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV.
Hey, Baycats fans, the next Junior Baycats game at Vintage Stadium happens.
Would you like to be on?
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Eighth inning brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all of your landscaping needs. Brad Grieveson back on the mound. Back on the mic is Ben Davey.
As we go to the top of the 8th, it's J.D. Williams, Connor Morrow, and Ethan Hammond due up for Guelph. They're up by 5 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Brad Grieveson out for his 3rd inning of work. Baycat bullpen quiet for now. We do see bodies down there. Nobody throwing at the moment. And a strike to start off Williams. Williams has reached base safely all 4 plate appearances so far this evening.
It was Henry Civil and Chris Cox throwing. Civil has started so far as a Baycat.
This one hit to right center field. Long way for McQuinn, but he's over there for the out. 1 down.
But did not make it out of the first inning in Toronto the other night, and he is a very good pitcher.
Shortstop.
So they'll want to put that
Connor
outing as far
Morrow.
behind them as possible, as quickly as possible, and maybe get him in the game in relief. He's got a lot of speed on his pitches. We're going to see, I think, whether Claudio Custodio is still in this game as a DH, because that would be the Ohtani rule, which I believe is in effect, but I'm not 100% sure, because I believe they're taking Custodio out of the game as a pitcher, but maybe not as a hitter. We'll see.
Want to know the count to Connor Morrow, the shortstop, the former Baycat. And that one skips over the glove of Brad Fianfonte, and it goes into left field.
That was a tough bounce at third base, and Fonte was positioned perfectly for it. But sometimes that ball can just really behave weirdly on that dirt.
First error of the ball game for Infante.
First error of the game for either team.
And up to bat now is Ethan Hammond, the left fielder. So one on for the Royals with one out here in the 8th. Brad Grieveson. First pitch to Hammond. And it's a called strike. Hammond hitting .326 coming into tonight.
Hitting the ball well tonight as well, a couple of singles.
Pitch from Grieveson, and that one is hit between first and second into right field. Back-to-back base runners for the Royals here in the 8th. So 2 on for Malik Collymore, the third baseman.
Number 35, Malik Collymore.
This is maybe the most dangerous hitter for the Royals right now, other than J.D. Williams. He's been on base 3 times, a couple of singles, and a double.
Brad Grieveson, a guy who can definitely give you innings. And he's thrown 43 pitches so far. Coming on in relief of Juan Benitez. Interesting to see if we do see Henry Civil get into this ball game. I think that might be good for him to just get some outs under his belt. This one hit a long way to right field, and it goes past Brad McQuinn. It goes all the way to the wall. It's going to score at least a run, maybe 2. Here's the throw. The tag by Anderson, and he's in safely. Well, we knew the first run was going to score. That was Morrow. That throw was a beautiful.
It was a perfect throw from right field, and it appeared to get him. Anderson looked like he got the tag down in time, and it was very, very close. Jeff Rose, I'll be honest, has a better viewpoint than I do, so I'm going to trust his judgment on that, but yeah, I don't know. That was as close as it gets.
The throw beat him for sure, and I thought the tag did as well. To be honest with you,
it looked very, I don't know.
Would love to have a second look at that.
The only reason I'm so doubtful is because Jeff Rose has such a good view, but man, it was close.
So Morrow and Hammond both score 2 RBIs for Malik Collymore on that double. Josh Matlow out for a chat with Brad Grieveson, and Grieveson is going to try to finish off this 8th inning here.
Second and third RBI of the day for Collymore. It sure looked like, I'll be honest, it sure looked like he was out. And I think just about everybody at the ballpark kind of agrees that it looked like he was out. But there's only one person where the opinion matters within the context of the baseball game, and that is the home plate umpire.
Claudio Custodio will come to the plate for the 5th time. Second at bat against Brad Grieveson. He singled off him in the 7th inning. 8-1 Royals. Custodio lifts this one high in the air, right field. And the catch is made by Brad McQuinn. 2 out in the inning.
Right fielder number 14, Jeff McLeod.
Been a busy inning for McQuinn. 2 fly balls now hit to him, and the double that brought in a couple of runs was hit his way as well.
We might not get that answer to the Ohtani rule because Custodio just hit, but he hasn't been lifted from the game as a pitcher yet.
Not officially.
So, same at bat as before. And this is the 5th time through the order for the Guelph Royals.
Jeff McLeod, first pitch swinging, gives that a ride, and it's a fair ball into right field. That'll bring in another run as Malik Cullymore is in to score easily. It's a stand-up double for Jeff McLeod and a 9-1 Royals lead. And Josh Matlow will come out a second time for a visit, and he makes the motion down to the Baycat bullpen. And that will do it for veteran relief pitcher Brad Grieveson as he hands over the ball. Actually walks off the mound, and he will deliver the ball to Josh. And the Baycats go to the bullpen here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 9-1 Royals. The Baycat pitching change on the way. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Two out in the top of the 8th inning. We're at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Royals comfortably on top, 9-1 over the Barrie Baycats, and Barrie will use their third pitcher of the night. It'll be hard-throwing right-hander Chris Cox.
Chris Cox right now 1-2 this season has a really high ERA for one reason, and that's because he gave up 5 runs in that Toronto game in Christie Pitts. And that's kind of a shame because he's been really good this year and really consistent for the Baycats. 12 strikeouts. He has given up a few more walks than I'm sure he'd like to, but he's been overall a very good pitcher for the Baycats. And I'm sure looking forward to getting that ERA back down to where it was before that game in Christie Pitts.
Kyle Cush will try to keep this inning going for the Royals with 2 out here on the 8th inning. Fouls that off to the left side. Cox, a native of St. George, stands 6'1", 215 pounds. This is his 3rd IBL stop, former Brantford Red Sox and Toronto Maple Leaf. Pitched for the Leafs in the 2011 season, then had a second stint with the Red Sox in 2016, and now a third stint here with Barrie in 2021. 5 years separating each of his 3 stints in the IBL. Pitched 2 1/3 in that 20-4 loss in Toronto that you referenced on Wednesday night. And he walks the first batter he faces. Kyle Cush will keep the inning alive. 2 on with 2 out for the number 8 hitter, Brendan Keys.
Catcher number 23, Brendan Keys.
Nine runs, 16 hits for the Royals tonight. A run on just 6 hits for Barrie. And a strike on a pitch that looked like it might have been inside. 1-1 to Keys.
This has been a wide strike zone today. And frankly, it's been kind of a moving strike zone.
Strike two. Royals with 3 runs here in the 8th, looking to add to it. Chris Cox from the belt, the 1-2 pitch. That was too far inside, 2-2. Royals scoring in the first inning and the second. And then 3 off Juan Benitez in the 5th. Added a run in the 7th, and now 3 here in the 8th. 9-1 Guelph. 2-2. And that's fouled over to the trees, left side. For all of the credentials Chris Cox has as an IBL veteran dating back to 2011, he has only 8 decisions, a 3-5 record. Lifetime in this league, as this one is dunked to the left field for a base hit. Royals will hold up at third base, McLeod. And Cush at second now with Brendan Keys. Aboard with a single to keep the inning alive for number 9 hitter Brando LaRue. This is Cox's 33rd IBL game.
Started as a starter for the Baycats last season, then shifted more into a bullpen role.
Juan Benitez, Brad Grieveson, and now Chris Cox for the Baycats in this 9-1 ball game.
Someone's still warming up for the Baycats. I believe that's still Henry Civil, although I can't tell for sure.
Fouled off right side, and the count is 0-2. We see some arms moving in the Guelph bullpen as well, so we'll see who comes out to work the bottom half of this inning. And a called strike 3 as Chris Cox freezes Brando LaRue. Not before the Royals score 3 in the top half of the 8th to go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Baycats with some work to do, trailing by 8. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Sorry, I couldn't say hi before.
Inning prize.
Fans, the newly redesigned BarrieBaycats.com features a brand new highlights page and a brand new spoiler-free Baycats TV experience. Head to BarrieBaycats.com/TV and BarrieBaycats.com/highlights now to get the whole game day experience. New pitcher for the Guelph Royals here in the bottom of the 8th inning is Ben Reed. And to tell you all about Ben Reed is Ben Davey.
28-year-old right-hander out of Hamilton, a long-time Guelph Royal dating back to 2014. He last pitched against the Welland Jackfish in that 20-2 loss. Worked just one inning of relief, gave up 10 earned runs. So this is a bounce-back game for veteran right-hander Ben Reed. That July 14th game, Reed gave up 10 earned runs in one inning of work, 7 hits, walked 3. And he would love to erase that memory with a strong bottom of the 8th inning here. He has an 8-run lead to work with. Owen Jansen steps to the plate. The number 9 hitter is 0 for 2 tonight for the Baycats. Jansen with that wide open stance. The righty works, and the pitch is low, ball 1. Jansen, 23 years old, from Oakville. Second IBL season, both of them with the Baycats. Baycats in jeopardy of a 3-game losing streak. Should this score hold? Tough loss in Welland last night and a shellacking at Christie Pitts to the hands of the mighty Maple Leafs on Wednesday night. Fouled off left side, and the count is now even at 2-2. Funny, you see 9 kids converge on that ball, and they all stand there and wait for it to drop. It's an absolute free-for-all once it hits the ground.
2-1, not 2-2. Okay. 2-1.
We'll adjust the count here for you. It's a 2-1 count to Jansen, and this one hit on the ground. Right side, second baseman Brando LaRue with an easy toss to first. And it's in time for the out.
Left fielder number
Tough night at the plate for Jansen as he's 0 for 3, and Noel McGarry Doyle, who's also having a difficult night. All the Baycats, other than Jake Wilson, really struggling at the plate this evening against Claudio Custodio. We'll see what kind of luck McGarry Doyle might have against a new arm on the mound, Ben Reed.
Very rare to see Owen Jansen 0 for 3 this season.
He's been red hot over the last month. And McGarry Doyle's been red hot as well, but he's 0 for 3 this evening. Royce Ando to follow. Top third of this Baycat order, McGarry Doyle, Ando, and Rio are a combined 0 for 9. And I am not sure that we've had a situation like that this year for the Baycats. Just been stone cold at the plate this evening, again, with the exception of Jake Wilson. 1-1 pitch, a high fastball, and it's 2-1.
Just thinking about the batting orders, and you wonder if we might see Royce Ando in a similar place to Jake Wilson, where they might try him in the middle of the order.
This one hit to right center field. It's a base hit for Noel McGarry Doyle.
And then you could move McGarry Doyle into that 2 spot and Jansen up to that 1 spot.
Number 7, Royce Ando.
Yeah, Josh Matlow's been keeping Jansen at the bottom of the order for whatever reason.
Well, except for yesterday in that game against Brantford, was it?
Welland.
Welland, sorry. Yeah, I missed that game yesterday. Apologies for that. But Jansen did lead off in that game. And I think the reason he likes Jansen in the 9 spot is because reverse leadoff. He can kind of be that second leadoff guy and be on base a lot for when the big hitters come up.
Ben Reed would love a ground ball to get out of this 8th inning. Runner on, 1 out. Here's the pitch, and it's into the glove of Connor Morrow. The throw to first, and it's off the glove of the first baseman, Kyle Cush. And down to second base goes Noel McGarry Doyle. So it could have been a double play.
Yeah, great play, and then maybe an error, as they're going to give McGarry Doyle an extra base because that ball was thrown out of play.
First baseman number 27.
So McGarry Doyle gets 2 bases on that and is up to third base. And now Ryan Rio was a chance for a big hit here.
Not sure if they're going to give the error on the throw or the first baseman who had it go off his glove. Should be an error one way or another on that. A great catch by Connor Morrow. Take nothing away from that.
And they are giving him an error because it was thrown out of play.
The shortstop?
Error by the shortstop.
Okay.
Which is, from his perspective, a little bit annoying because he made such a good catch on the first half of that play, but it is definitely an error.
This one lifted foul, and it'll be out of the reach of the catcher off the benches. And the count is 0-2.
Someone makes the play. There you go.
Somehow Noel McGarry Doyle got to third base when we weren't looking.
Well, he advanced 2 bases because of
he took 2 on that error.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if you
Gotcha.
throw it out of play, the runner gets 2 bases.
Gotcha. Foul tip, and staying alive is Rio. Count holds at no balls and 2 strikes.
Andrew Case, by the way, is warming up in the Guelph bullpen, and I think done warming up now. So he might get the 9th inning.
Pitch from Reed. This is low and in, and the count is 1-2.
That ball has been both a strike and a ball at different times today.
Rio is just 24 years old, but you can call him an IBL veteran. This is his 5th season. Waggles the bat. The pitch from Reed. High. The count is even 2-2. Rio would love to get on base for the first time tonight. He's 0 for 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Guelph up by 8. Ben Reed to Ryan Rio. And Rio lifts this one to right field pretty deep. McLeod goes back near the warning track, and it's over his head and gone. A home run for Ryan Rio as that one just cleared the right field fence. And the Baycats make it a 9-3 score.
Fourth home run of the season for Ryan Rio.
Third baseman number 8, Barrie.
Had 2 homers in that game in Kitchener, and then also had a home run in a game in Kitchener. So this is his first home run of the year against a team that is not nicknamed the Panthers.
I think all 4 of his home runs have come in the last, 2 or 3 weeks?
3 of them have. One of them was in the early part of the season in Kitchener.
Wow.
But Ryan Rio has really been red hot lately.
Yeah, after a little bit of a slow start, he's starting to find his groove now. Big home run there.
He had some day-to-day injuries that were maybe impacting him a little bit early on, but now we are seeing Ryan Rio and how good he can be at the plate.
So a little bit of life to this Baycat offense now, still trailing by 6. It's a 9-3 score. And this one is fouled back, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Branfi Infante. Infante scored the first run of the game for the Baycats in the 7th inning. It was slim pickings off Claudio Custodio tonight. A familiar tune, as we saw that from Claudio here earlier this season. A game that the Baycats won. They were able to keep the score close enough to pull it off in the late innings. Not so tonight, with a big deficit now in a 9-3 game. 2-1 the count to Infante. Here's the pitch from Reed. Strike 2. Royals coming off a 9-0 win in Brantford yesterday. A 9-3 lead over the Baycats here tonight. Reed's pitch. In the dirt, and the count is 3-2. Baycats coming off 2 straight losses, both on the road in Toronto and Welland, and in danger of 3 straight losses here tonight if this score should hold. 3-2 pitch coming up, and it's in tight. Infante ducking out of the way. But a walk keeps this inning alive for Jake Wilson. Wilson, the one guy who has been executing at the plate tonight. 3 for 3, a pair of singles and a double. Drove in a run with his single in the 7th inning.
A lack of command on the last pitch. He has not been commanding his pitches the way he's wanted to, either missing inside the strike zone or way out. And there was way out again.
Yeah, big difference between him and what we saw earlier in the game from Custodio, who was pretty much spotting the ball wherever he wanted.
And I think the Guelph coaching staff has noticed that he has not been himself.
Well, Chad on the mound. Notice the catcher, Brendan
Chad's
Keys.
going like I imagined. Hey, Jake Wilson's been really good at the plate tonight. So this would be a bad guy to miss in the zone too.
Do you think they're saying pitch him carefully,
I think
or do you think they're saying
pitch
throw
him
him
carefully.
strikes?
Pitch
Okay.
him carefully. Try for weak contact.
See, I would argue the opposite. I would think they might say to him, don't be afraid of him, throw strikes, you're up by 6 runs.
No, I think you'd be going for weak contact, try and get that double play here. Well, you don't need the double play, but get a double play type ground ball. Because Wilson has been very dangerous with pitches inside the strike zone today. Keep it low, keep it slightly outside the strike zone. That's what I would be saying.
Well, we don't know what was said, but we can tell you what's going to happen here with a pitch, and it's a strike. Fastball, 1-1.
Maybe you're right.
Came right at Wilson there. Wilson was taking all the way.
Because neither of us can tell what they were saying. We can just say what we would have said,
We
right?
could ask them after the game, but other than that. Runner goes, reads pitch, hit on the ground, second base. Gobbled up by LaRue. The throw is off the line and it's out of the reach of Kyle Cush, and that'll keep the inning alive.
Well, you're right. It was the trust your stuff speech on the mound, going inside the strike zone over and over again. That time he got the pitch to get out of the inning, but the defense did not work out. Wilson on base yet again.
Should have been the third out of the inning. That's going to be an error, I believe, on the second baseman, Brando LaRue. And another conference on the mound, and this one maybe to get the baseball.
They're just revisiting the game plan, because the game plan to Adam Ott is very different than the game plan was to Jake Wilson, who's been seeing the ball so well. You were right. It was the trust your stuff speech last time, and now it is a new pitcher coming in. So they're going to Andrew Case in a situation with the runner in scoring position and another one on first base. He got the trust your stuff. He did. He actually got a ball that would have taken him out of the inning. Defense didn't work out. Now a new pitcher coming in.
Pitching change for the Royals with a 6-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Ben Davey in a moment. I'll just tell you why I believe that it was the right call to have told the pitcher to throw him slightly outside the zone, pitch a little bit around Jake Wilson, stay outside the strike zone, rather than going right in. The trust your stuff speech works really well almost all the time, and it does a really good job to raise the batter's confidence. And hey, the pitch that he got, which was the trust your stuff in the strike zone pitch, generated the contact that should have gotten him out of the inning. But the reason it didn't get them out of the inning defensively is because it was pitched right inside the zone. Jake Wilson hit it squarely, like he's been doing all night. He's been seeing the ball well, maybe better than any Baycat all night. So he hit it right to the fielder, and because Wilson runs so well and the ball was hit from inside the strike zone so well, the fielder didn't have a ton of time to get over to first, panicked, and threw it away. If you throw it just outside, maybe down a little bit lower, and don't let Wilson get that straight up contact from the bat, you maybe give your infielder a little bit more time.
Adam on to the plate, first pitch swinging, and he breaks his bat on that one. Here's the underhand toss to the pitcher covering. It's in time for the out. And the Royals are off the field in the 8th inning. Andrew Case throwing one pitch and getting the out of the ball game so far, as the Baycats strand 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Guelph holding on to their 6-run lead as we go to the 9th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Ninth inning brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all of your landscaping needs. Henry Civil into the ball game. He'll be very happy to see Vintage Throne Stadium. Pitched quite well across 4 2/3 innings. The 4 innings were the highlight for him against Toronto on July 7th. Pitched quite well, made a good first impression to Baycats fans. It did not go his way in Toronto on July 13th. He faced 7 batters in the first. All 7 scored, and he did not get an out. So Civil trying to put that behind him. He's a super talented guy, and now coming in for a bit of a different perspective. Coming in the 9th inning. He's a guy that throws really, really fast, and the Baycats hoping that he can raise his confidence back up, get some outs here against the Guelph Royals, and put them with a position and a chance to get back into this ball game. Back on the mic for inning number 9 is Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick. A 6-run Royal lead here in the 9th, and they'll try to add to that with the top of the order coming up. J.D. Williams, Connor Morrow, and Ethan Hammond to face Dominican right-hander Henry Civil, who stands a towering 6'5", 245 pounds. And you referenced his 2 previous outings. Really, Jekyll and Hyde. Pitched very well here against the Maple Leafs in his debut on July 7th, and not so much at Christie Pitts in Toronto. The Maple Leafs lit him up for 7 earned runs in 0+ innings of work. He did not register an out that night in a 20-4 loss against the Maple Leafs. His first offering is inside to J.D. Williams. Ducks out of the way of ball 1. Righty-righty matchup here. The leg kick, Civil's pitch. Called strike, 1-1. Williams has reached base 4 of 5 plate appearances tonight. Back-to-back doubles in the 1st and 2nd. Hit by a pitch in the 5th and singled in the 6th. Gets a piece of that, and it's 1-2.
You can see the big velocity affecting J.D. Williams. He was behind that fastball up in the zone.
No question of Henry Civil's velocity. The issue may be control. Certainly was a problem for him on Wednesday. 1-2 is the count to J.D. Williams. Civil's pitch on the way, and it's just inside 2-2. You're looking at those first inning walks
5
on
walks?
Wednesday.
Yeah. I'm looking back at your scorebook there. I was producing on that game, so I didn't keep a scorebook. But is that 5 walks?
5 walks,
Yeah.
3 in a row before he exited after just facing 7 hitters. He only faced 7 hitters that night and gave up 7 earned runs. So
It did not go his way, but one bad outing is one bad outing.
And this is his chance to put it behind him with a 6-run ball game in the 9th inning, and that one up high. It's either ball 4 or it hit him. I think it hit him.
It definitely hit him.
He's holding his arm. Hopefully that got most of the guard. More plastic than arm, let's hope. Williams tosses the elbow guard away and jogs down to first. So not the way Civil wanted to start the inning.
5th time on base today for J.D. Williams. 2nd time he's been hit by a pitch.
Shortstop, number 2, Connor Morrow.
Connor Morrow reached on an error in the 8th inning and scored a run. And he hits another one. Civil. Back-to-back hit batters here.
Well, Henry Civil brings you big velocity, and the command has not been there for him. And now Josh Matlow going out there to talk to his pitcher. They want this to be a outing where he can raise his confidence as Chris Cox goes back down to the bullpen and maybe starts warming up again. Well, I guess he already appeared in the game, so he can't warm up again. But maybe going out there to support somebody else warming up.
Josh Matlow's speech to Henry Civil was short and sweet.
Trust your stuff.
Took about 6 or 7 seconds with whatever he
that's
said.
That's the meeting where you should be throwing the strike zone. Although I'm not sure that really would help if you're having big command issues. Civil.
No point pitching around guys when you're down by 6 runs.
No, you gotta trust your velo and go into the zone.
We'll see if the pep talk helps Henry out at all. Back-to-back hit batters. Williams at second, Morrow at first.
There is someone new warming up in the bullpen for the Baycats. It's a right-hander.
And Ethan Hammond at the plate. That one high and outside.
And that's the same pitch that hit the last 2 batters. The last 2 batters were righties. This is a lefty.
Yeah, it was virtually the same spot. Let's see if Henry can get one over the plate here. I'm sure Hammond's going to be taking all the way.
So he's missing to the right side of where he wants his location to be.
That one's low and inside, and the count is 1-1.
Looks like Max Loishko has started to warm up. No, that's Loishko on the left. There's someone else warming up there.
Taking all the way is Hammond. He practically stepped out of the batter's box as that pitch was thrown. He wasn't going to swing at that no matter where it was. Almost looked like he was trying to call time, but here's the 3-0 pitch. He did the same thing. And that one is a called strike. Hammond basically took a step back. Didn't quite exit the batter's box, but almost did.
Dalton Brownlee has started to warm up for the Barrie Baycats.
3-1 from Civil. Got a piece, and it's 3-2.
Brownlee, a right-handed pitcher.
First time Hammond has swung in this at bat. And now the count is full. Pitch from Civil on the way. Foul back to the screen. So now Civil starting to throw some strikes, which is a good sign.
Trying for the triple play.
Well, anything on the ground would certainly boost Henry's confidence here, I'm sure. Certainly he needs that. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Loishko is warming up as well, but he's got a jacket on, so.
Pitch on the way. Ball 4. I thought maybe that would be called on the inside part of the plate. It is not. It loads the bases. 2 hit batters and a walk, and now Malik Collymore comes to the plate. Not a guy you want stepping up with the bases loaded. He's got 3 runs scored tonight. He's reached base 4 times. He's driven in 2 runs.
And if you're at the plate right now and you're Ethan Hammond, or if you're Malik Collymore, you just have to be as patient as it gets, because 10 straight hitters now have reached base against Henry Civil across his last 2 games. 7 of them have scored, and 3 of them are on base right now.
Nowhere to put Collymore, and it looks like he's going to wait for Civil to throw him a strike, and why not?
That has to be the plan in the batter's box.
Another hit batter. That one brings in a run.
And Guelph's dugout is extremely irritated. And Civil just does not have command right now.
Matlow comes out to the mound. Civil's already there, and the umpire will flip Josh Matlow the ball, and Josh may not even give it back to him. Civil takes a few steps back towards the mound, but this is Josh's second visit, so that means he's gonna keep the ball here for sure.
Dalton Brownlee's coming in.
I'm not sure why the Guelph dugout would be upset. It's not like Henry's trying to hit these guys. Clearly he's just wants to get through this inning.
Brownlee's ready to come in. He's waiting for the sign, but it doesn't look like Josh Matlow's given the sign yet. Matlow's
conversation with Civil, interestingly enough, has been a much longer one than it was when he came out 2 at-bats earlier.
Brownlee's coming in.
And
that's probably Civil fighting for the ball, right? But
and again, after 2
3 hit by pitches and a walk,
Civil will get an appreciative hand as he heads off. A tough night for him. You try to put it behind you and go get him on your next appearance, but
it's not intentional. But it's not his best command.
Bases loaded for Brownlee, who will take the ball, and we'll take a short break. It's a 7-run Guelph lead here in the 9th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Dalton Brownlee on the mound in the 9th inning. Baycats still looking for that first out of the inning. And it was not an outing that Henry Civil wanted, to say the least. He has now been in a bit of a rough stretch as a Barrie Baycat. Dalton Brownlee coming in. He'll be facing off against Claudio Custodio, Jeff McLeod, and Kyle Cush. And now I guess we get to see if Custodio's going to hit. It doesn't look like he's going to hit. Someone else is up in the on-deck circle.
Hitting for the Royals, number 22, Noah Roberts.
It'll be Noah Roberts, the catcher, coming in the DH spot for Custodio. So I think whether he's allowed to stay in or not, they're going to give the rest of the night off to Custodio. And he'll be facing off against Dalton Brownlee. Here is Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick, as Brownlee will make his 3rd appearance of the season. All in relief. Last worked against the Welland Jackfish on July 16th. That was last night. That 9-3 game. This one gets away. Runners advance. And it's an 11-3 Guelph lead as Connor Morrow comes in to score. Hammond to 3rd, Collymore to 2nd. And as you mentioned, Roberts into the game for Custodio in the number 5 spot. Brownlee with a 6.75 ERA coming into tonight. 2 2/3 innings of work. And that pitch is high, ball 2. I'm sure Josh Matlow didn't expect a perfect relief appearance from Henry Civil tonight, but that was really Henry's chance to bounce back from that disastrous Wednesday night start at Christie Pitts, and he just was unable to do anything.
It was more of what we saw at Christie Pitts, unfortunately. And
3 hit batters and a walk. It really couldn't have gone worse.
We've seen Henry Civil do better than that, but that wasn't better than that. And it's tough coming out after an outing as, frankly, disappointing to everybody, including himself, as it was in Christie Pitts. It's tough coming back out here and trying to do better and get back going. And maybe he was just not in the right mindset.
3 balls and 1 strike to Noah Roberts. Well, it's frustrating for Henry, too, because I'm sure he knows, you're only going to get a couple more chances, and if you can't get it done, you're not going to be around here very long. This one to second. Ando to first in time for the out. Another runner scores as Ethan Hammond crosses home plate. 3 runs for the Royals here in the 9th. So Roberts retired, and there's 1 out here in the 9th inning.
Right fielder number 14.
Collymore to third, so runner at third, 1 out. Jeff McLeod comes to the plate. McLeod has reached base twice tonight. Here's the pitch from Brownlee, and it's a called strike. And we've mentioned it a couple of times, but Jeff Rose not making this strike zone a tough one for the pitchers this evening, that's for sure. McLeod gets all of that right field, and it's up, and it's into the night sky. A 2-run bomb for Jeff McLeod. He barreled up on that and gave it a ride. Collymore scores ahead of him. And the rout is on at Vintage Throne Stadium as the Guelph Royals are romping the Barrie Baycats again here this evening. 14-3 the score.
Now batting number 5, Kyle Cush.
Kyle Cush comes to the plate, the first baseman. Still just 1 out in the inning. Boy, the Royals have got to be feeling good about their lineup. Big offensive explosion again here tonight against Barrie.
They really do have to be feeling good about their team. It's a good team. It's a team that came into today with 16 wins, and they're going to walk out of here with win number 17. In their return to the IBL, it has been successful.
Brownlee with a 1-1, and that bounces up to the plate.
Now it's up to them to prove that they're the team that people thought they would be coming into the year, where everybody had them kind of at the top of the IBL power rankings.
Well, they've owned the Barrie Baycats 38-11. The combined scores of these 4 games. This one's going to stay in play, and the catch made by Noel McGarry-Doyle. 2 out in the inning. 38-11 for Guelph. 15-3 win here in Barrie on June 12th. 6-1 win in Guelph. The only close game was the first matchup between these clubs. 4-3 Barrie win over the Royals, and ironically, Claudio Custodio pitched that game as well, but the Baycats got to the Royals in the bullpen. Here's Brendan Keys. First pitch is the ball. Keys up to the plate for the 6th time tonight. Former Toronto Maple Leaf in his 6th IBL season. Brownlee waggles the arm, looks in for the sign, now comes set. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Came at him with a fastball, and the count is even 1-1. Brownlee, 21-year-old native of Innisfil, 6'2", 215 pounds. The big right-hander gets ahead in the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brownlee's pitch. And this one hits over the glove of a leaping Roy Sando, and it's into right field. And that will keep the inning alive for the number 9 hitter.
Ando just jumping a little bit early there. It's a really tough one to judge.
Second baseman number 12, Brando LaRue.
I would say almost half of this crowd is still here in this 11-run game.
That's impressive.
Maybe a little more than a third. Somewhere between a third and a half of these fans remain on a Sunday night.
That's impressive.
A 14-3 game with the home team losing, so lots of loyalty from these fans here. They'd love to see the Baycats give them something to cheer about. Slim pickings here tonight. 14-3 in favor of the Royals.
Someone else warming up the bullpen right now for the Baycats. You'd think that's Max Lojko, who was warming up a little bit earlier. Just looking at the delivery. I believe it is Lojko.
Dalton Brownlee, the 4th pitcher for Josh Matlow tonight. Juan Benitez, the starter, on the hook for the loss this evening. Grieveson came out to work about 2 or 3 innings, and then Chris Cox before Brownlee. One from Brownlee. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Brownlee has quite a fall off to the first base side of the mound. You'll see after he delivers, the way his momentum takes him to his left, our right from our vantage point. 2-1. And he's behind now, 3 balls and a strike. Hard throwing right-hander. And it looks like Adam Odd is throwing in the Barrie bullpen.
Odd threw in that game in Toronto. He's a guy who's also pitched as well as hit.
Swung on a missed. 3-2. Baycats fans hoping we won't need to see Adam Odd tonight. And Dalton Brownlee a strike away from finally getting his team off the field here on the top of the 9th. 5-run 9th inning for the Royals. 14-3 lead. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch with the runner going, and it's fouled off. And that will keep the at-bat going. As this game reaches the 3-hour mark on this Sunday night. Busy week ahead for the Baycats, off after tonight until Thursday, and then 3 games in 3 nights over the weekend. Runner goes, 3-2, fouled away again. Brantford is here Thursday night. Then the Baycats travel to London on Friday, and then Kitchener visits Vintage Throne Stadium Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Guelph gets tomorrow off, then they're right back at it Tuesday night against Hamilton at home. Brownlee to LaRue, and this one hit down the third base line, and it's into left field for a base hit. And the Royals have batted around in the top of the 9th, sending 9 men to the plate. Keys goes to second, LaRue to first with a single, and J.D. Williams will come to the plate for the 2nd time in this inning.
Center fielder number 9, J.D. Williams.
So the Royals continue to put the pounding on the Barrie Baycats here tonight. 14-3 the lead, and they're looking for more. We mentioned Hamilton and Guelph on Tuesday night, then 3-3 over the weekend for them.
This is the 7th at-bat for J.D. Williams.
Friday night in Brantford. Saturday, Guelph hosts Welland at 7:30, and then Sunday afternoon the Royals will visit Christie Pitts in Toronto. So 3 games in really 2.5 days Friday, Saturday, and then a Sunday afternoon. That's going to be a busy weekend for the Royals. 0-1 from Brownlee, and that bounces up to the dirt. Anderson off with the mask. Runners advance. James Anderson came into this game for Tyler Plumpton, who got pretty banged up tonight on a foul tip off his bat, and then one at home plate off of the Royal, who was at the plate at the time. Can't remember who, but he had to leave this game. So Keys goes to third. LaRue goes to second. J.D. Williams with a 1-1 count. Pitch from Brownlee. Fouled off right side. Brownlee with some good velocity on his pitches here in this ninth inning. This inning started with J.D. Williams being hit by a pitch from Henry Civil. 1-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. Dalton Brownlee ends the inning with a strikeout, and that will do it for Guelph. They score 5 in the ninth and take a 14-3 lead to the bottom of the ninth inning. 3 bullets left for the Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
5 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base.
Hey everybody, Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davey here in the broadcast booth. We'll get you set for the bottom of the ninth in just a little bit. It has mostly, Ben Davey, been the Royals' ninth. They're up 14-3, but the Baycats have a half inning to try and get right back into this game. As unlikely as it might be, we've seen weirder things in this sport.
Well, you got to play all 9, and here's a chance for Barrie to make a little bit of noise. It's the bottom third of the order coming up, which hasn't done a whole lot. And it's going to be Familia, Anderson, and Jansen. Only one. McQuinn, Anderson, and Jansen.
Sorry to correct you there.
I appreciate that. And actually, McQuinn, the only one in the bottom third of the order who's reached base tonight.
Yeah, he had a good single.
And they will face Andrew Case, who came on in the 8th inning for the Royals, and he'll try to finish it off here. Well,
that
we mentioned
single was actually some really solid contacts. It was a good job by the defense to keep it to a single.
Leading off the ninth inning for the Baycats, the right fielder, number 47, Brad McQuinn.
As McQuinn comes to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning, we mentioned a 14-3 loss is the same as a 4-3 loss when you're looking at the standings in terms of wins and losses, but certainly a demoralizing game here for the Baycats against a team that really has owned Barrie. There's no other way to put it. And you know, do you think it affects you a little bit more when you're just repeatedly struggling against one particular team, kind of gets in your psyche a little bit? And
honestly, I do think that has an effect. It's just about putting that effect behind you when key games happen between these teams. You have to put it behind you and reset. And you know what? When you do end up getting that victory, it feels even better, right? So the Baycats and the Royals will face each other again in big games this season.
Well, 2 more in the regular season, and these are middle-of-the-pack teams in the standings, so a first-round playoff matchup is always possible. This one's hit on the ground to second. Brando LaRue to first in time for the out. It is early to start looking at first-round matchups, but
it is, but it's not. We're in the second half of the season now. So
you got 2 teams here that very well could face each other at some point. And as it stands right now, this Barrie-Guelph matchup does not favor the Baycats at all from what we've seen over the first 4 games so far this season. 3 of them in particular. James Anderson now to the plate. Owen Jansen to follow. 14-3 Royals. Pitch from Case. Called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. So Guelph will have a 3-1 season series advantage over Barrie after tonight.
That was a good pitch.
And the one thing we can say about the Baycats, they have wins over all 7 IBL opponents at some point so far this season, so they know they can beat anybody. They've held their own against Welland and against London and even against the Royals with that 4-3 win.
There is no question that the Baycats can beat the big teams. It's just, I'm sure Josh Matlow will say about consistency and getting consistent wins.
Swing and a miss. Anderson goes down on strikes.
Big losses are just that, right? It's one loss, like you mentioned. And it's about not letting that get too big into your mindset.
The Royals trying to put themselves in that conversation as one of the IBL big teams with London and Welland, and certainly what we've seen over the last 12 games, 13 games. The Royals
Barrie's
are
right there too with that 5-game win streak.
Yep. Yeah, you can't say they're not. But this has not been their night here this evening. And I mean, the one thing with the Baycats, they've had some games this season where when they've lost big. And there's just no other way to describe this one here tonight. Called strike to Owen Jansen. Jansen would love to reach base here. He's 0 for 3. Andrew Case with the 0-1 pitch. And Jansen hits this one pretty hard, right center field. It's going to stay in the park. No, yeah, it lands fair. Stays in the park. It's a double for Jansen. McLeod and Williams, the outfielders, back on that one and ended up landing past them.
Doyle.
Good to see Jansen getting on base again. That must be a streak at some point. Or it must be a streak of quite a bit now for Owen Jansen.
I got some homework to do after the broadcast now. Find out if he's on a hit streak. I think he probably is.
He must be.
Big rip and a miss by Noel McGarry Doyle. Andrew Case bringing the heat here on this 9th inning. That fastball had a little bit of rise on it as well.
Case has got good stuff.
He's varying his speeds too. Back with the breaking pitch there, and McGarry Doyle fouls it off. He's behind 0-2. He's not just coming at them with straight fastballs.
No, you're seeing movement.
Baycats down to their final strike. Andrew Case to Noel McGarry Doyle with the 0-2 offering, and it's fouled off as Noel stays alive.
Baycats have 3 games off, like Ben said a little bit, or 3 days off rather, as Ben said a little bit earlier. They'll be facing Brantford on Thursday at home. That's at 7:30. You can get tickets at barriebaycats.com/tickets.
And the Royals get Hamilton at David E. Hastings Stadium on Tuesday night. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Case with the delivery. And McGarry Doyle fouls it off. It's going to stay in play, and the catch is made by a sliding Brendan Keys for the final out of this ball game. What a catch.
That's the kind of catch you only make when it's a big moment. It was certainly a big moment there. Got the win for his team, and the Royals win it 14-3.
And an exclamation mark on this big win tonight for the Guelph Royals over the Barrie Baycats as they improve the season series now 3-1 over Guelph with this big win here tonight over the Barrie Baycats. Juan Benitez will take the loss. Claudio Custodio dominant on the mound again tonight for the Royals, and he gets the victory for Guelph. Final tonight, Royals 14, Baycats 3. Thanks for joining us tonight on Baycats TV for Vintage Throne Stadium. For Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davey. Good night, everybody.
The Baycats